Hello. Hi, Reeb. Yeah, we can do it together. I think that that smelly bastard is going live over top of me again. Of course he would. I wish everybody would just come over here and just ice him out. He needs to just stop. I did make some phone calls today, which I did record, and I will play them tomorrow. Oh, look, and Selexa's in here instead of Ernie. Hey, Jessica Mai. Hey, Innocent. Okay, so apparently people are mad that I've been proving Ernie wrong right and left lately. I think he went live, didn't he? Or is he going live? Yeah, I'm doing good. Well, his comment isn't too bad. I don't like to block anybody. Let's see. We're just waiting for a chapstick. No, Reep, I said hi to you. You're not blocked. Nobody's blocked. Well, maybe a couple people are blocked. Who's blocked here? I don't remember. I am blocked Mama T. Lips has never been blocked. You've been in here alone. Flurm, hello. I don't like it because they just show our URLs now and they don't show our channel names. I'm looking at my other phone trying to find Ernie. See if he's live. It was a troll. Oh no, she's here. All right, where is the chapstick? What are you doing, honey? Uh-oh. My phone isn't charging because I pulled the cord out. I gotta reconfigure here a minute. Okay. There we go. He's not live. Oh, I saw a notification. Maybe they just made a post or something. Kelly's been live all day, hasn't he? So, he did never play that full 911 call, did he? So, I'd love to play that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I got some things I want to do tomorrow. Play the phone calls. I want to react to Sarah's live today, but that was horrible. I'm sorry I wasn't over there. I guess she asked for me a couple times, but I don't get notifications from her channel for some reason. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Can you believe it? Summer is almost over. Where did it go? Just crazy. Oh, here we go. Hey, girlfriend.
Can you hear me? How you doing?
Oh, great.
Sorry.
Hear you perfectly.
Good. Interesting day, huh?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Was.
Yep. I called and made a report on someone, and yeah, set that straight about that picture. I'm so sick of that. Yeah, phone call.
What picture? I'm sorry.
The picture of Summer and Marlena's girl in front of the camper.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
So I posted all the pictures I had from that day of them at the
Oh, okay. I
she-
didn't see that yet.
yeah, Summer laughing, and I said in that picture, she looks like she's trying to keep from busting out laughing. Really, he said
Yeah,
that
100.
was hi, Charlie. Hey, yeah, Reap. Wow, second surgery this year. And my sister's had kind of a problem with that. So what were we saying? Oh
Picture.
yeah, I'm like, what an idiot. You can look at that. It's not Summer. He said that was a week before Summer went missing. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So they got coats on. There's no leaves on the trees.
Right.
Candy's
June.
not, her hair is, yeah, just been shaved recently. Yeah. So I don't know. That doesn't fit his narrative, right?
No, probably not.
I said, I wish everybody would just ice him out and come over here and listen to us.
I mean, it's more dramatic, I get it. It is what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
He's keeping it interesting. I'll give him that. I will say that.
Well, he played that, fake phone call. And I wonder if PG will go live about me tonight. She wouldn't like me showing her up to be a liar and a scammer.
Right.
So we'll see. Okay. We're on page, what, 60 something?
Hang on a second. I think I meant to go back and listen to the end of the last one to make sure I knew where we were, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I think it was the Jody Sue emotional breakdown about Chase coming out with his story to Tiffany.
Oh, no. We didn't hear that.
It was I didn't really get into it. I just noted it November 1st. So it was just a couple days after Chase had spoke, I believe, with Tiffany for the first time, and Tiffany had released it. I think it was obviously Tiffany had released it. Yeah,
What was it about?
about Chase telling his story on what he thought where Summer was.
Oh, is that when he said she was in Indiana or something?
Well, he said a man and a woman, blah blah blah. A woman came up the backside of the hill and snatched her. Grandma saved her. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Yeah,
Okay.
it was that. Um, and then the next was November 4th, 2021. Candace releases a letter to Summer. I don't know if I read this or not.
No.
So we'll go here. Dear my daughter Summer, life will never be the same without you. I cannot even control my feelings. Every time I look around the house, the yard, I think, I cry without you. I can't even control my feelings. Oh, excuse me. I cry for you. I don't know what happened to you or who took you, but I know my heart is breaking every day and every night. And every day I wish I knew what happened to my precious, beautiful daughter. Summer, you are my world, and I will go to every inch of this country and world to find you. Your mommy and daddy love you and miss you with everything we have. We pray and try to keep faith and hope we'll see you again. I'm so sorry for whatever happened to you. I don't know, but I will not give up looking for you. I
That's
love
fun.
you. It's okay. Yeah, I love you with everything I have. I will never stop looking or searching for you. Your daddy and me, we are doing everything we can to find you. If it's God's will, you will be home soon. I pray whoever took you will let you go or will have mercy on them to come forward with information on you, Summer. Summer Moon, Utah Wells, you are the most beautiful angel. Summer, mommy and daddy and your brothers miss you. Please, Lord Jesus Christ, I'm begging for you, my Summer, to come home. We'll all miss you, beautiful Summer. Daddy and me have been going through a lot. I hope you see this, and I know we are not going to give up on you, and we will find you. I won't stop. I love you, mommy and daddy, brothers and grandma. I think I did read that last time, actually, but
No, I don't remember hearing that. No. Hey,
no.
Freeside. Hey, that girl. That's kind of similar. It reminds me of the letter that or the post she made about um can't
Rose.
can't no Candace Floden, her
Oh,
her older daughter. She made a post about that, about her, when responding to her accusations or whatever. And it reminded me of that, obviously.
Hmm.
But I do believe that Candace wrote that.
Yeah, I think she wrote it too.
Okay.
November 6th, Nerdy Attic actually later releases a video that he had went to Ben Hill this day and talked to Candace and Don. Tim Mullen was there, and so were Chris and Trudy. I don't think a lot of people have seen that.
He's
It's out.
good.
I think it's
He's
still
good at
out there.
stuff.
He is. He
And
is.
he did do quite a bit on the wells in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. November 6th was actually the night that Don said, I have 7 alibis. Candace ain't got none. Candace is going down. That
Oh
night
yeah.
in particular, he panel hopped all night. He was literally on Molly's, Ziggy's, Doug's channel, like all night long. It was insane.
I'm glad they finally got off YouTube, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that. They weren't helping themselves, that's for sure.
No, it wasn't a good look. Yeah, Dad's 7 alibis are his co-workers and boss, I could totally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
they,
always kind of what I assumed.
yeah, that's what he said. And that did, I mean, that is what happened. They were there when he got the 5:30 call. So he was there then. I don't know. Just I was trying to piece things together, aren't we?
And we'll probably never know the truth of most of it, unfortunately. It's the sad part.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, people still don't even know what happened to JonBenét, you know? I kind of always feel like Summer was like this generation JonBenét, honestly.
I
There's
never
just so
thought
much
about that. I
to it.
think
Yeah.
JonBenét, the problem with that is they let people fill up that whole entire house before the police got
Oh,
there. So,
yeah, I agree with that completely.
I mean, anything that was there,
Mm-hmm.
but everything that was left certainly points to an inside job.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
November 10th, 2021, TBI in Knoxville, TBI stated that multiple search warrants were executed and possibly digital evidence was collected in Summer's case. Ziggy brought this up today. That's what she was talking about.
About the search warrants?
Yeah. She'd asked Jody what happened with that and where was Damien when that happened today. And that was when Jody didn't respond or say anything.
Well, I know
I
Damien
I
was
don't remember.
staying with. Go ahead.
I thought I had the article copied. I actually searched for it today because I knew this was in the timeline. And I heard her say it today. I can't find the article about it. If I can recall, I think we were told by BK this information. So I don't know the validity of it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got. I don't know. I feel like there was an article though. I feel like I actually read the article. I could be mistaken if somebody could correct me.
Well, Damien was staying with his grandparents, I thought, and they executed a search warrant on him.
Uh-huh. That's what I thought too.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's what Ziggy brought up today, and Jody didn't want to talk about it. So yeah, it did
Huh.
happen. She wasn't wrong, and it was November 10th, 2021, like I said.
But he wasn't arrested. I heard it was drugs, but I mean, he wasn't ever arrested for anything, so.
No, yeah, not to my knowledge either.
And if their TBI is announcing, search warrants in Summer Wells case, I would have to think that it was related to that.
Yeah, I would agree. I wish I could find that article. I looked for it today, though I couldn't find it. So
Well, I'll
I'm
look
gonna go back
around.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and see if I can again. But
Was it
if I
about
have
the
to,
search? Did it mention Damien specifically or just search warrants?
no, no, no. I think the rumor was that he was staying there with like his grandma or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't recall a name being in there.
Hey, Johnny Kramer, welcome.
I think it was all just assumptions, because he was supposedly there.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Also on November 10th, Jody Sue goes on Doug's channel, Oh No Thanks, and is very upset, crying that Voldemort's, at the time, name had came out. She was
Huh.
pissed. She called him Voldemort for the first.
I know
We're at
she
November
did.
10th, so we're 5 months in. Nobody really knew who he was, and people were calling him all kinds of different things. And for a while, I remember people were even referring to him as Mr. Brown because she was a Brown. You know what I mean? Like nobody really knew who he was in the beginning.
Well, it's pretty easy to
Obviously,
just run a background
I
check and see that
know,
she was
I
living with him.
know,
That mystifies me.
but it was a big question, his identity, and she definitely tried to conceal his identity for the first few
Yeah, I
months.
remember her calling him Voldemort.
hmm You know what that is, right? Or who that is, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The name that shall never be mentioned.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything, I guess.
And that was on Doug's?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Which is gone. You can't find that. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody might have clipped it, but Doug's stuff is
Yeah.
all gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because Doug was kind of funny. Um November 11th was actually the day that the WJHL interview came out where Jody Sue talks about the scream, which a lot of people don't realize. Which, like I said, was literally 5 months after she disappeared. And I'm going to jump ahead and say not only that, but Dr. Phil aired the very next day, the very next 2 days, actually, because it was a 2-day episode. And I always thought the timing was just so interesting that
It is interesting.
it is. Like, what the heck? Because everybody knew they were going to be on Dr. Phil. It was highly publicized. Like, it was leaked back in October, I think. So people knew for
Yeah.
weeks leading up to it that they were going to be on the show. So was this timing her choice or was it WJHL's choice? That's my question, I guess.
Okay. Hi, Mama,
You know what I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah.
So, the interview's pretty short. It wasn't that long, but I'm sure everybody's seen it. I don't really know if you want me to read through it, but I do have it in here, basically.
Yeah,
Of,
go ahead.
what was said. So says November 11th, Jody's interview airs 5 months after. Animalistic scream, says Damien. Didn't sound like an animal, says Jody. Unfounded complaint doesn't pertain to the case, says Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. Jody speaks to the reporter. There's no TV, no noise at all. We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that had been happening the day before. So we were listening for noise and everything was kind of quiet. While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Donnie and Candace's driveway. Something about it struck me wrong, says Jody. Ansley Daniels states she and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious, a scream. Stopped all three of us cold, said Jody. Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there, listening, still. We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream, says Damien. Animalistic, but not an animal, reiterates Ansley. Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't an animal, says Jody. That vigilance kicking into overdrive, Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream, says Ansley. My son and I decided to go out and look and see what we could see. We went back out onto the bank and didn't see anything, didn't hear anything, says Jody. They went on with their evening, the kids returning to being kids. Jody Sue headed down to the driveway around 6 to tend to flowers, says Ansley. At this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went to, the scream earlier. This, uh-oh, says Jody. Then Ansley states Jody was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer. I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking, says Jody. Jody Sue searched one side of the creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side. And you gave statements to the police? Asks Ansley. Oh, absolutely, said Jody. Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream, bringing up the scream often, but the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells. She's been interviewed a number of times, not only by my agency, but the TBI and FBI. We don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case, says Sheriff Ronnie Lawson. Ansley states, Jody wishes she could go back to just a short time before Summer's disappearance and before the scream she believes was Summer. Jody says, I wish every day that when I'd heard that scream, I hadn't tried to dismiss it. Ansley closes with, referencing the work of the FBI and the TBI, and his own Hawkins County Sheriff, Ronnie Lawson, reiterates in an interview that same week as Jody Sue that investigators have found absolutely no proof that an abduction took place in the Beech Creek community. And when asked if Jody had been spoken to by Ronnie Lawson, he says, absolutely interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
Chris McDonough said it didn't fit the timeline, too. Whose timeline,
Well,
Chris? We didn't know too much back then.
that's true. Fred had recently stated that it didn't fit the timeline because of him. He said he recorded Jody saying that she knew the scream took place at a different time than she originally stated in the timeline to the TBI, I guess.
Did anybody tell the truth in this thing?
Girl.
Somebody pointed out that Jody Sue was like radioactive, which is why she was staying in the cabin. So why are her kids in there with her?
I wondered that at the time too, actually. I don't know.
So that kind of puts the whole thing in doubt too.
I mean, I think you can like be around somebody. I just think there's certain interactions that you're not supposed to have. You know what I mean? I'm not really educated enough on the subject to know, but from my understanding, they need like their own bathroom and bedding. But I think you can like share personal space. Like it's not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't know. When my sister,
I don't think intimacy.
My sister had to get rid of her animals.
Really?
Okay, so it didn't kill them.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, no, just for a while. Should have.
Oh, okay.
True,
intimacy
but that's why
is a thing, you know.
some of them are like Don and to change the timeline. Yeah, I don't. If the scream was out loud at Jody Sue's, then the boys would have heard it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody else says anything about a scream.
No, not at all.
The boys probably would have told David Dotson. I mean, they talked about the door. I think they told him all they knew about it, honestly. Okay, I thought she was checking property lines. She did say that.
She did say that they were checking survey lines.
So, when did she step outside of the cabin?
I mean, originally they said they stepped out when they heard the scream, but then again, she didn't, not until later on, obviously. She doesn't really.
Checking property line. I don't know. I don't. And the
She
guy on
states
the
they were
GoPro said-
checking.
What?
The property lines I thought were before.
Okay. The boys were there. Yeah, I think so. I think the boys would have definitely heard it. So they would have verified it, and so Lawson wouldn't be saying.
Right, and that's probably why he said it wasn't credible, is because nobody verified it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And the boys wouldn't have any reason to lie.
Right.
Unlike our other suspects. Okay.
The very same day, November 11th, 432 Chase, Brad, and Cam, I don't know if Allie was there or not, from Cracking Cases, go on WJHL. They do an interview with the news regarding the billboards.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
an odd pair, and I wonder if they knew each other beforehand.
I mean, I would say definitely yes. So they were the two that were collecting money at the vigils. I mean, they have a connection, you know, like. If I have
I
to say
wonder if
all
they
this,
were
I'll say it
in
all.
jail at the same time.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Oh, look.
I think there's a. You want my opinion?
You think there's other connections?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
I mean, Washawn's son married a Simmerly. Fact.
Okay.
Cam lived in Churchill, a mile away from Kentucky Munchkin. And not only that, but in this video specifically, if anybody wants to check it out themselves, Cam's wearing those same stupid leather bracelets, which always struck me as weird because I've not seen many men wear those leather bracelets. I mean, it's like a biker thing, I would think, maybe. But these men aren't bikers. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of stuck with me always. And considering they lived a mile apart, and
Oh, yeah.
I've seen 42 mugshots of Cams, to say the least, probably more.
Yeah.
I mean, Ernie's been in and out everywhere possible. Like, I feel like they know each other. And with Brad being connected to a Simmerly, all the more reason. You know?
Hey, Carrie, welcome. Boys Games TV, they might not have heard a bomb go off. Well, if it was that loud of a scream that Jody Sue and the kids heard it over on her property inside, I
And
would think.
Don said Summer had some pipes on her. So I mean, if it was in fact her screaming, it would have been heard, I feel like. Not saying it was, but if it was, it would, you know.
Yeah, I
She was
think
loud.
at that time she was already gone. What time did she say the scream was? Oh,
Between
Mama too.
4:30 and 4:42.
Okay, so Candace was over at Fred's then. I think
Fred
Fred was
at
already going to be on,
4:30. Yeah, yeah.
honestly. So I don't know what the scream. I don't know what the scream would have been, or even if it really happened. Yeah, Mama Two
Right.
says I think we know what kind of man wears leather bracelets.
Yeah, my point
That,
exactly.
that was so hilarious when Benny was interviewing, or he had Ernie on his panel or something. Goes, how many bracelets you have on there? 9 or whatever. Ernie did that. He did have quite a few halfway up his arm on each
Mhm.
arm, and that was so funny. Ernie, he didn't like that.
Mhm.
We have no proof they weren't bikers at one time. What? Ernie said Sonny Bolger, leader of Hell's Angels, gave him his cut with patches.
Oh Lord.
Sonny, I know. I've read about Sonny Bolger before. Yeah. Well, Ernie knows everybody, doesn't he? Trump and Tim Ballard and I was going to call Tim Ballard, but he's not with that Underground Road anymore. When all that scandal came up, I guess he resigned. So I don't know how to get a hold of him.
Hmm.
I'll have to ask Big Ern.
Nice.
Yeah, the timeline is very screwed, but I think we got it kind of figured out. Hey, Misty Rose. Yeah, he it's crazy how he just those had to be hot. Of course, he never takes a shower, so it's not like they would get wet and shrink, right? Imagine the time it would take to put all those on.
Oh geez.
Now he just keeps them in his magic suitcase.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to straighten things out. The boys could have been used to summer screams. But Jody Sue acts like this was a one of a kind thing. So if Summer was screaming a lot, it seemed like Jody Sue would have heard a lot of screams, right? She wouldn't have thought it was anything unusual either. There's something just odd. There's something that doesn't fit with that scream.
There is, and I still think it is interesting that the kids back it up too. You know what I mean? Which is,
Yeah.
like I said prior, that's kind of why Andy even believes it at this point. He said, if the kids didn't back it up and say it as well, he would totally question it. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
November 11th and 12th, Dr. Phil show airs. All I put was Cornbread Mafia dumpster fire
And
for that.
I think, did we talk about why that affected her so much? Because Ernie had threatened
Right.
one of his previous girlfriends with the Cornbread Mafia. But why did Dr. Phil? Okay, even if the Cornbread Mafia did, let's just say, for conversation's sake, that they did have something to do with this, how the hell would Dr. Phil get wind of that? Do you know what I mean?
I agree
Where
with
did,
that. I agree
where
with that.
did that even come from?
I don't know. I think it was one of the behavior panel guys that actually used the word first, if I recall correctly. Somebody back me on that.
Was she bothered about it then?
I don't know. Like, what do you mean?
Candace. Didn't they?
Yeah,
Was she
of
bothered when
course.
they mentioned the Cornbread Mafia?
Oh, she definitely 100% physically reacted.
When the behavior panel did it.
Yes. They didn't bring up, I don't think I'd have to go back and double check, but I don't know if they actually brought it up at the Dr. Phil show or on the behavior panel interview. I can't recall off the top of my head. But she physically reacted, I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, I know she did.
I mean, she physically reacted on both of them, to be honest, you know what I mean?
It's just,
But
I don't think it's a coincidence that Ernie has threatened other people with the Cornbread Mafia, which is
no, I don't
defunct and has
either.
been for a long time. So,
Right. But Candace doesn't know that, you know what I mean?
yeah,
She wouldn't know that. And if she had heard, somebody that she was, let's say, in cahoots with already say that, and then for these guys to be interviewing her and bring it up, that's going to trigger the frick out of you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And like, it did. It genuinely did. And I feel like that's been a big part of my drive. Like, Candace did a lot of interviews later on, like, we said with like Daisy and whatnot, but we hadn't seen nearly as much from Candace as we had seen at Don. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And they were both kind of emotionless. Like, they were both roller coasters, don't get me wrong, but to see
yeah,
one of them physically triggered by just a simple word that anybody else, any Tom, Dick, and Harry would think was a simple word. You know what I mean? Like, you say that word to me, it's not going to trigger me. You know what I'm saying? It's not. To see her physically react when that word was said has always stuck with me on the core of this case.
yeah, that is weird. Here, Johnny Kramer said he's Ernie claiming he was a Hell's Angel and a Cornbread Mafia at the same time. That's funny. Well, Ernie's done it all. He's
Yeah.
done it all. Okay, seems like I was going to say something. Nope. Keep going.
November 13th is when Don actually is talking to Ziggy and says to her, imagine someone taking your daughter hostage, your beautiful daughter that you just got back, and they're playing games with your freaking head. In my opinion, it was definitely referring to Ziggy's daughter, but most
Oh,
people think he was referring to Summer.
No, it definitely was and she even came out on a live and
She did.
explained that it was her daughter.
She
Yeah,
100% did.
her daughter, and she did get her
'Cause
daughter back right then. So
she had just gotten her daughter back, so he was
she talked
trying
about it too.
to. Yes, I
He
agree with
said,
that completely.
Wouldn't you wanna do something to him or something?" And she said, "Yeah." So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, he didn't just. I mean, for crying out loud, there's a million pictures of Summer, every day. So when was she gone? She wasn't. So there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
November 16th was when Brian Enton actually visited Ben Hill, or didn't visit Ben Hill. He visited
Met down
Kingsport.
somewhere
Well,
else.
yeah, but
It's just,
he didn't.
I just,
Definitely did not go on Ben Hill because Don would not allow him to. Um, so early on, he released a short interview, but then just more recently, in the last 3 or 4 months, I think it was just around uh, her anniversary of her missing date this last year, he released a longer version of that same interview. So I went ahead and inserted that, and I'm not gonna read it. But if anybody'd like to check it out, they definitely should. It's very telling. What surprised me with the new version compared to the old version was a guest appearance by Tim Mullins. Didn't see that coming. Um, didn't catch him in the first one at all. So yeah, Brian cut him out and was trying to be gracious, but
is it
Tim
really
actually,
long? I'd like to see that. Can you read it?
Tim,
How long would it be?
yeah, I mean, it's like 6 pages.
Oh my God. Okay.
But I will just say that when Tim Mullen popped out, he popped out because he didn't want the boys mentioned. So Tim pops out and he says, "You can't do the boys. You can't mention the boys." And Brian looks at him and says, "I know you can't talk about them, but," and he just goes right back into his interview. It was great. I appreciated it.
Well,
It's
the
hard to
odd
laugh,
thing
but
is, Tim is the one that's talked constantly about the boys and put, aged photos of
yeah,
them and everything
yeah, yeah,
on social media. He didn't
yeah,
shy away from talking about them.
correct,
Okay.
correct. Um, so after
Oh,
that,
look at Innocent right on it with that link. She's working overtime today.
nice. Thank you, sweetheart.
Got on the behavior panel. Brian Enton interview with
Excellent,
Don Wells. She's got all
excellent.
all the
Appreciate you. Thank you, love. Excellent. Because these are good interviews. It's good original stuff. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Um,
they're there. People want to watch them.
right. So Brian Enton did the interview November 16th, posted it November 16th originally of 2021. The very next day, the interview room posts its video with Robin, which was actually filmed July 24th. We are now at November 17th. He finally released Robin's video, which I always
With
thought
the
was very
behavior
strange.
panel?
No, with the
Oh,
interview room. Chris.
you said the behavior panel. I
Mm,
think. No, maybe not. Maybe I just misheard. Yeah,
sorry.
he did hold that in for a while.
He did.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I
Maybe
never
there's
understood.
something to do with ratings, probably.
Maybe, I guess, but it seems strange. I didn't think there was anything that, I mean, I even went back and listened to see if there was anything that she might have said that they didn't want released that early. There was nothing I could really pinpoint, so I don't know.
Was that the whole thing? Didn't he release part of it at first and then release the whole
I
interview later?
He might have. That was definitely with Hunter, 100% with Hunter. He
Oh yeah.
released
Yep.
Hunter's video back in like August, and then coming up in like a month here, he releases it again. The full
But I
interview.
thought he did.
After the first of the year, I
Mhm.
think it was.
I think he did that another time though too. And I can't say for sure it was Robin, but I think so. Look at
Hmm,
Innocent coming in with Robin Lane. Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
On November 18th, Jackie Dobbs puts his Ben Hill property up for sale for $168,000.
Must be not for very long because
Yeah.
he took. He said that he had somebody interested in it, but then it was like a fake. Not that it just fell through, but that it was kind of a scam, he said. So I don't know if they
Okay.
were just trolling him or what, but
That's
just
very,
like
very
2 weeks
possible.
ago, he said he was going to keep it till he died just so Jody Sue could never get a hold of it. And then,
Stop.
no, he did. And then just a couple weeks ago, he said, well, I'm thinking I might as well sell that. I'm like, why not? Why not get the money? And it's not doing you any good. Jody Sue don't have
That's
the money to buy it, so.
that's wild that he said that about Jody Sue. I didn't know that. I'd never heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah.
November 18th. Oh, this is actually kind of comical. November 18th, Don and Candace do a live call with Ziggy, and Tim Mullen actually calls them on
Oh, my
another
God.
phone while they're talking to Ziggy live. He sounds completely agitated and shocked that they are talking to Ziggy, and he calls himself Jimmy when he realizes that he's been outed in the call.
I think he wanted to micromanage everything, you know? And I think
Yeah.
PG did too. I mean, she was writing all that stuff for Don, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's fighting over them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the Three Dawns, they were fighting over who got to be the official spokeswoman too.
There was 3 Dons?
Yeah, there was 3.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Did not know that. A
Yeah,
lot to keep up with. A lot to keep up
well,
with. Very next day, November 19th, Ernie checks into Kenosha County Courthouse for the Kyle Rittenhouse.
I wonder, yeah, long enough to be on camera anyway, huh?
Yes. November 20th, just Don attends the Seventh-day Sabbath School. There's no videos of the church anymore. They're not showing any of that. November 26th, Kingsport Seventh-day Adventist Church removes all videos of services from YouTube, removes everything of summer.
I wonder if that's when
Yeah, I think that's when
Tiffany
there was
Marie got
people.
caught.
Yeah, I think there were people chatting in the live stream inappropriate. I don't think it was like
Yeah,
inappropriate. I just think it was aggressive, we'll say.
yeah,
So they just decided to remove everything, which was really sad. I was really sad when that happened
yeah. And
because I was
Tiffany's
watching the
like,
videos at that time, so
Tiffany
it
said,
kind of
well, I
hit
told
me.
him not to say anything bad. I'm like, oh, shouldn't have been in there in the first place, really.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I had been watching them for months at that point and never said a word, so it's completely possible to control yourself. Just saying. But I will say I do appreciate her. Did you catch her question today? I liked her question because her question
No,
came straight out of our timeline. Did you catch that?
no.
She asked Jody Sue where Andy was the next morning when she texted him saying she was going out to help look for Summer. She said he was supposed to be home. Why wasn't he next to you? Why couldn't you just tell him? Why did you have to text him that? So some people are listening to the timeline and paying attention. So I appreciate that. Thank you. If there's any
What did
corrections need
Jody
made, let
Sue
me
say?
know. She didn't answer. Just like everything else.
Hmm.
Yeah, she didn't answer.
Okay.
November 27th, Fred Hill sells to quote unquote Big Mountain, as he calls him. Says he's from across Clinch Mountain. He is later charged. He later tells us that it was Jeff and Pat, I'll just say. Most people probably know who I'm referring to. November 30th,
Is that when
TBI has.
is that when he got
Go ahead.
arrested? Is that what you're
Not
saying?
yet. No,
Oh.
not yet. So he got arrested like 6 months later,
Oh, yeah,
maybe.
it was quite a bit later, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah, but it was noted what days he got caught selling
Did the sell? Okay.
in the police report. So I noted these dates because
Were these undercover operatives, or did they just snitch on him?
I think it was the the second, but I don't know 100%
Okay.
because
Right.
he knew who they were. He knew who they were. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just like locals. And I mean, he said he knew who it was.
Okay.
Um, November 30th, TBI does a 2-day search, noting change of the season and visibility and terrain issues that they had previously had that were better now. So they,
I remember that. That does make sense. In the fall, the foliage would be
hmm
gone.
hmm Very next day, December 1st, aircraft radar does show a plane circling all day around the property of Ethan Wise, also, who's somebody that
Really?
we've talked about. Yes. So that's kind of why I thought like that kid had to be cleared. You know what I'm saying? Um, it definitely became very public who he was very, very quickly. Because then the very next day, December 2nd, J for Justice does a live stream about it, and Cher does a live stream about it. I don't know
Yeah, it
who
was
did it
all
first.
over. It was all over
Yeah,
Facebook
they both
too.
did a
Yeah.
stream about it the very next day because that kid was definitely topic of conversation around that time. People had just found out who he was and we were looking into him and blah blah blah. So yeah, December 4th, Don does attend Sabbath school. December 7th, Benny Keys and Brad Washawn have their queso lunch date in Kingsport. Benny says in the video that he loves Chase. Benny later says that Fizzle, who's Penny,
Yeah.
called Brad 20 times that day while they were hanging out at Don Wells, or excuse me, while they were hanging out with Don Wells at his job site, saying that she found Rosemary Bly's location in North
Oh.
Carolina,
Oh my
which is
lord.
all, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but it's all in there. But the highlight is this was BK and 432 whatever's. Benny was there. This was their little lunch date meeting, blah, 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 blah. And I mean, obviously, if Penny's calling Brad 20 times that day, she knows Brad pretty well, I would assume. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we agree upon that? you know?
Um. Yeah. I don't
So
think too much of her investigative skills, but so you said they had lunch and then they were at Don's work site?
that's what Benny said later. I don't
Huh.
recall that ever being in the video. The video that I remember seeing was them in the car together, um, enjoying party favors together, let's say, at one point. Definitely party favors were shown, to say the least. The lunch date
Oh,
occurred either before or after the time in the car. I don't know which. Benny later said, because Chase was driving, I remember, and it was said that like Chase worked at a car lot because other people had noticed that Chase always had a different car because he had like went to a prayer vigil and then he met Benny and like whenever he came around, people had noticed that he was always driving a different car. So come to
he
find
did.
out, he worked at a car lot or a
Yeah, he did
detail.
work.
He was a detailer or something like
He
that.
did work at a car lot. I think he
Right.
still. I think he still does. I looked recently. He worked at
So
several different car
the
dealerships.
assumption was he was just borrowing customers' cars to do what he needed to do, I guess. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So Benny later said that he had no intention of getting in the car with Chase, but for whatever reason decided to go ahead and get in the car with him. So yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
hmm Um, December 8th, Heels on the Ground is in Kingsport, and Molly actually filmed at the bottom shed area. December 9th, YouTubers Unite, everybody on the hill. Benny Keys is there, Cam's there, acting as guard dogs. Heels on the Ground is at the bottom of the driveway. It was the day of the confrontation with the log. Benny was
Yeah.
carrying. Um,
Was that when they brought dog food or something and dumped it at the end of the drive?
maybe. I don't know if that was that. I mean, possibly, quite possibly. I know they did take a bunch of stuff up there and drop it off. Molly and all them. It could have been.
Their reason for being there, allegedly.
Right. I mean, they were there a couple different times for sure, but I don't know if that was like that exact instance. You know what I mean? Um, Benny also later says that Don was home hardly at all while he was visiting there. He said that Don was in Knoxville from the 12th to the 14th. I
Right.
don't know. Which is interesting because he was there in Kingsport on the 7th, so he was there for a whole week, Benny. That
Well,
seems
that's when.
interesting.
Well, I think he did stay away for quite a while. Hey, again,
Maybe,
welcome. Um,
maybe.
they did say when he would leave, he would stay gone for several days, but that's when PG said that he was never really gone, that he was hiding in the basement talking to her the whole entire time.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But where's there a place to hide in the basement?
Right.
That house isn't that big.
No,
And
not
nobody
at
heard
all.
Don talking on the phone the whole weekend?
Right. You never know with any of them, honestly.
Definitely going live about me now. Oh yeah, Tennessee
Um,
Truth. Tennessee Truth has a video of the blue couch there.
oh, on the back of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sabbath, December 11th, Don does attend Sabbath school. Sabbath, December 18th, Don does attend Sabbath school.
He's
But
got
I
to say
did,
he does that religiously.
yeah,
Oh,
but I did, okay, so normally he would always sit in the exact same spot. But I did note that this time particular, he sat in a different spot than he never sat at before, next to a very attractive woman, I'm gonna say. Um, and he was a little chatty. I don't think those videos are there anymore.
um,
He tried
did
to be
Candace?
anyways. Let's say that. Excuse
Did
me?
you say? Did you say Candace went once to Sabbath school?
Candace went more in the beginning, right after Summer disappeared. She never went before Summer disappeared, never once.
Okay. Okay.
But after Summer disappeared, I think I've noted she went to some after Summer disappeared. I'll just say that.
Okay.
I do have it noted in the timeline, so it's kind of silly. If there is a Sabbath class, I do 1 dot. If Don's there, I do 2 dots, and if Candace is there, I do 3 dots. So I see Candace at like, I know it's goofy. It's just part of my timeline, how I can look through it quick. I see Candace with like maybe three
Okay.
times she went. But that's only what I have noted. So I'm not really sure. I wasn't there. You know what I
I
mean?
can't see her going of her own volition. That had to be Don trying to keep up appearances. I would think. I can't see Candace going by herself
You
ever.
know, I always remember hearing in the early days that going to church was part of his probation
Yeah.
stipulations, which
Yeah. Yes.
I thought was the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life, first of all. I've never heard that be a thing. So I
And
question it, of course.
Alcoholics Anonymous, and he did go because people that somebody's relative went to at the same time and saw Don there. Although it's
Really?
supposed to be anonymous, but yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to tell it.
No,
But
you're not.
that was before the boys were taken because
Okay.
that was the reason why the boys were taken. Don said he fell off the wagon after he said because the TBI accused him of taking his daughter. I don't believe that, honestly, but for whatever
Right.
reason, he fell off the wagon and went on a rampage, and Candace called the cops on him. And when they came, they both failed a drug test, so they took the boys, is the story.
Interesting.
So, yeah, Don changed it to he called and told them to take the boys.
Yeah, I've
But
heard that.
they only went once to see the boys in November.
That's crazy.
That's the only time they ever went. They were supposed to go in December, and they both failed their drug test again, so then they never went again.
Wow.
Kind of sad, huh?
It's so sad. I couldn't even imagine.
Okay.
December 31st, 2021, Candace creates her YouTube channel. I noted that I kind of thought she was home alone. I don't know why I have that noted, but that was my opinion at the time. I don't know if it was because of her video, a video she made, or I don't know. I don't know why I say that there. January 1st, 2022, Benny calls Andy and wakes him up bright and early in the morning. Andy is not happy, snaps on Benny, says he's tired of people calling him. That interview's probably still out there, I would imagine. Benny's got a lot of stuff still up.
He does.
I'm not expecting innocent. I'm not expecting innocent, but I'm just saying it's probably still out there.
Yeah, he does. He's got a few channels still up.
Yeah.
And there is some older stuff there. Hey, Paula. Hi, everyone. They couldn't see the boys, I heard. Well, that was after Candace called. They were still calling and talking to the boys, and Candace called drunk one day, and that's when they couldn't talk to him after that.
Yeah, that's what I heard happen
The
too.
foster parents reported it. So before that, they called. They just didn't go see him.
That's true.
Okay.
January 1st also, media manager Wells makes a post on Facebook, Tim, and says, "The Jimmy call is hilarious. Thank you for sharing. Surprised it took this long. Got me. Smiley face."
Oh. A lot of narcissists in this story.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah. Like, what? What? I think that's why I read it why I did. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
It was hilarious. January 2nd, 2022, Candace reposts Summer on the Swing video she transferred it basically from TikTok to YouTube. January 2nd, the pastor at the Solomon's Temple Church later says that Don showed up this day to talk to him.
That's odd.
That was per JLR. So I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he interviewed the guy. He went and talked to him. He was a really, really nice man. The interview, it's a pretty lengthy interview. He still got all that stuff up, to be honest. He talked to a lady at the church and the gentleman, maybe two ladies even. And
I can remember that. Didn't you shut the door on him at one point? Or was that at the other church?
I don't remember. I think that was at the other church. They never even got in the SDA. As soon as they pulled up to the SDA, they said that somebody else was walking in and saw them and immediately locked the door behind them when they went in.
Well, they must have gotten in there at one point because Molly Golightly had that spy pen and filmed.
That was for an actual service. So the day that they went there, that the door was locked, was like an off day. You know what I mean? There was nobody there. There was no cars in the parking lot, anyways. I mean, I'm sure there was a couple people there, but it wasn't like anything was going on. When Molly got in,
found the fake plastic knife.
I don't know which incident that happened, but that did happen. I remember that.
That was after Donna Serafina said Summer had been stabbed by all these men in Rome, remember? And then, just happened to find a plastic knife.
I mean, honestly, all that goes down just a couple days after this, so it was literally the same week. January 6th, the interview room releases the uncut Hunter interview.
Okay.
That's where we get the name Andy for the first time for the text. I don't really know what else was different in that interview, so I'm not gonna act like I do. I can't really think right now offhand of what else was different from the one to the other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. January 6th also, heels on the ground, arrive in Kingsport. January 8th, heels on the ground, attend the service at the SDA.
Okay.
Molly says that there was a little blonde girl all over the whole time, and she had a spy pen.
That's just
She
such
did.
a breach of
Yep.
boundaries.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I saw like Nita put a couple of spy pens on her Amazon wish list. So
Oh, stop.
suddenly everybody got that idea and they were going to go spying on people.
Oh, Lord.
God. Seriously?
Um, January 10th, heels on the ground, shows up at Don's job site, causes
Well,
chaos.
yes.
Don gets fired from Tucker. They also met with Allie and her family in the street. They
Oh, and shoved
also
money in
had
her pocket. Yep.
They also had a dinner and did an interview with Dudley and his wife. And then late night, it says also in a late night phone conversation released in July 2022, Don mentions Candace did make food that day, but left it out of the timeline originally. He says that they had hot dogs for breakfast and cereal for lunch, which is weird.
Well, they weren't there for lunch.
I do recall somebody saying that she got a bowl of cereal after they got back. Or one of the kids got a bowl. Somebody poured a bowl of cereal. And it was just recently that somebody said it. It wasn't back then.
Thanks, Paula. She said we do great work here.
Thank you. And if anybody can confirm that or deny, that'd be.
Well, I don't even want to think about the hot dog after what PG said.
Yeah.
That's the most
Yeah.
disgusting thing I've ever heard. But cereal for lunch? I mean, they weren't. No. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know where he even said it, but it says July 2022. Don said it. So
Well, the
I
thing
don't know where it
with
would have been about
Dudley,
that then.
people keep misstating that. Well, PG does anyway, saying that Dudley said that he saw Don throw Summer over his shoulder and go out to the car, and the boys said, "Where are you taking her?" That no, Dudley didn't see that. That's a misstatement of what he actually said.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of heat between those two gentlemen, to say the least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were out for each other.
Yeah.
From day one, it kind of
Well,
seems
Allie
like.
was out for Candace. Look at all the lies she told about Candace.
Yeah.
Anything to get her in trouble. Which was kind of like Candy trying to get Don in trouble all the time. I just came across that 911 call too, where Candy called. Remember Candace allegedly
I saw that.
or whatever?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw the one you posted. That wasn't the thumb one though.
No, but I ran across the thumb one.
That thumb one's coming up actually in like 2 days here.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's cute though. I love how you keep bringing things up and they're coming up. I can literally see them on the page. January 11th, Don says to Molly, and I mentioned this to you a couple streams ago actually. Don says to Molly, "Life goes on. We need to focus on bringing attention to other missing kids," which obviously stuck with me.
Yeah, I think that was kind of controversial. Are we
Yeah, she's only.
We have Molly and the fake Don Wells thing at the hotel. Is that coming up?
So I think that was this same this same visit, but I didn't document it at all. That was crazy when they were at the Airbnb and Molly was like trying to say Don was outside.
She was doing a live, and then I remember seeing that, and then Don's pulled it. Yeah, and she freaked out and shut it off. Don, Don
Freaked out.
supposedly pulled up outside.
Freaked out. Oh, she said he was walking. She saw him walking next to the window by the fence or something
This is
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
Typical
Yeah.
Molly and Justin stunt, honestly.
Wild. Wild.
Yeah,
No,
was that at
this
the
was that
Airbnb
same
late
instance,
night?
though.
Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Yep.
Late night. I mean, it was like 1, 2
Hey,
a.m. It was
Jody
late.
Sue, welcome. Jody Sue said that never happened. It was on a live. I saw it. I saw it live.
I mean, she's probably saying that Don never showed up, which I agree with. If that's what she's saying. Like,
Oh
Don
yeah,
wasn't there. Molly was full of
absolutely.
shit.
Don never.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's what
Don
Jody's
never.
saying, and I completely agree with that.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that was totally fake.
Yes.
Which is like, yeah. Think Dudley could be involved in Summer going missing? I don't think so. Do you?
What was it?
She said, "Do you think Dudley could be involved in Summer going missing?"
I mean, I think anybody can be could be involved in Summer going missing at this point. But I think Dudley has been thoroughly looked at and looked over, and I'm sure all his technology has been thoroughly looked at and looked over. I'll tell you, I did. Okay, who asked this question first of all?
Paula.
Was it Jody? Okay. So I did call Pruitt and talk to Pruitt before I ever released this timeline to the public, and there was a couple things I wanted to go over with him before I released the timeline. And one of the things was, in my research, I had found out that Dudley drove a vehicle that, in my opinion, was very similar to the vehicle that Fred doesn't know who is driving it, the dark blue vehicle with the dark blue tinted windows, the truck.
Okay.
Fred refers to it. See, now it's been a while, and I have to I don't want to misquote anything, but Fred had said that he thought it was a GMC Canyon, I believe he said, which is a very, very expensive vehicle. I don't know if anybody knows anything about that specific truck, but that is a very expensive vehicle. Average Joe is not going to have that vehicle, okay? But there is a vehicle that looks similar to it. And that's the part that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Anyways, that's the vehicle that Dudley owned. And actually, that's the vehicle that Dudley, I believe, said he was working on the day that Summer disappeared, because that's his alibi. Is he was at home working on a vehicle. Many people saw him. Many people knew he was at home. Many people knew he was working on the vehicle. The vehicle is a dark.
Rainstorm asked if it was a Dodge Dakota.
Yes, thank you. That's what it is. A GMC Canyon and a Dodge Dakota. Yes, they are very, very similar in the way that they look. And when I called Pruitt, I brought that up to him. That was one of the things I brought up to him. So I'm assuming at this point that that has been looked at. He told me that that has been looked at. He actually told me I was 2 years behind. So this was years ago when I called him, mind you. But I will say that was part of the conversation I had with him. And it was because I think it was when Fred first brought it out, and I was intrigued by it. I'd never heard him speak on that truck before. So I started looking into it.
Is this the same truck that he and Ziggy tried to say met Andy on the road that day?
I
That was a
think
dark
he
blue.
said that he thought that they might have drove to the back of the holler to meet Andy, is what they thought.
Okay.
And like it waited on Andy to come out or something. But yeah, I brought that up. So I'm assuming at this point that's definitely been looked over.
Well, Purple Rainstorm, that was a good guess.
Yeah, they're on it. I don't know what I left off with. Hang on, I'm sorry. Chaos,
The
that goes on.
dark blue vehicle.
Oh yeah. January 11th, Ziggy arrives in Kingsport. She visits Warriors. She meets Fred Hill. She says she was avoided by Jody Sue, which she was surprised by, because Jody had definitely been reaching out to her, and she thought they were going to meet up.
Really?
Yeah.
Jody, are you still in here? Jody reached out to Ziggy? Why would she reach out to Ziggy, of all people?
They were talking before Ziggy got down there, I believe. they've been talking for a little while.
I wonder what made her think Fred was such a great catch. Is this when she had the freak out over the rental car and
No, that was
okay.
months later. When she got stranded, Ziggy.
Yeah. And when
No,
she
yeah,
used that lady's credit card for
that was way
okay,
later.
later.
Way
Okay.
later than this. Like
So
the
this
end of the
was the
year for me.
Bones incident, is it?
So I feel like maybe it was. I don't have it noted of her first meeting with Fred and what they went over. I don't know if it was the first or the second time. I know Ziggy called. I know they all called and, and obviously all got checked out. But I feel like it was because this was the winter, but I mean, it's Tennessee, so it's, doesn't really snow, I guess, much in Tennessee. Could have been the Bones. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That was just, and I know a lot of people pointed out that here she is out there with a strange man, supposedly looking at bones of a body, right?
Yeah.
With no cell service, with her daughter in the car. Just was odd.
Crazy. No way, no how. No, thank you.
No.
No.
Okay.
Sabbath, January 15th, Ziggy visits the SDA. Don does attend Sabbath school. Ziggy later says that Candace was outside smoking during the service, and Robin tried to get Ziggy to go out and get her. Robin says that Candace is always outside. She does it a lot.
Jody Sue Brown, hi Renee. You owned them all today? Where was she that she owned everybody?
She was on Ernie.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, that's what I brought it up a couple times. You didn't know what I was talking about, but when I had said Ziggy was on there too.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Tiffany.
I might
That's
have
why
to go.
That's why I said today was interesting, huh?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go watch that.
Yeah.
I try not to watch Ernie, and I was probably sleeping. Hey, JP Fluff, Sandy Gant, hello. Yes, Jody Sue Brown was in here. Yeah, she did a minor insult to me. Innocent hasn't heard it. JP Fluff said she was amazing. Well, I'm gonna have to go watch it. I have a new respect for Jody Sue Brown.
It was pretty interesting.
Says Sandy. We were cheering Jody on in Degens. Oh. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to have to definitely go watch it. That'll be my nighttime watching, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good one. January 19th, 2022, Candace calls 911 on Don, says he choked her, and she has a thumb injury.
Oh, that was Candy that called.
Oh.
That was Candy. Yeah, that was Candy.
But she called for Candace?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
But the police officer said that, or
Yeah.
I'm assuming, sorry, it says not serious enough for charges. Police said Candace was using her thumb with no problem while she was smoking.
Yeah, there wasn't any. Yeah. Another unfounded thing. They were always trying to get Don in trouble, honestly. And I think that's why Candy called Don in Utah and he rushed home. I think she thought he was going to beat Jose up and go to jail. They're always trying to get him in jail. They did not get along. She would go over to the house while Don was at work, and when he came home, she would go back to her trailer. They tried never to be around. That one was blamed on the washing machine. I don't remember that. Jody outdid Ernie's ignorant ass. Well, did he treat her like he does me? I took a picture of when he dropped me down in the backstage. He'll do that while you're up there.
Oh yeah. You know where you learned that from, right? Oh wait for this. You know where you learned that from?
PG?
Doug used to do that shit to Ernie. He used to mute
Really?
Ernie out. Oh, yeah, I'll send you the clip, ma'am. I got that clip. It's hilarious. Ernie went up on
Mhm.
Doug's panel and he's trying to talk, and Doug keeps muting him out. And then he would bring Ernie back and he'd be like, "You're on the show. Why aren't you talking? Why aren't you saying anything?" And then he would put him backstage
That's
again.
exactly what Ernie does.
It's so funny. And Ernie was so mad when Doug was doing that. That's where Ernie learned to do that from, in my opinion.
He does
It
that
was
when
funny.
Jessica Rook is up there, yeah. Okay, I will. I definitely will.
Yeah, I'll find
First
it.
they
I just
tried
saw it not too long. Somebody
dogfighting.
just reposted it not that long ago. That's why I saw it. Somebody's been bringing out some oldies but some goodies, to say the least.
I
A lot of
haven't
people have,
seen
to be honest.
Tiffany Marie over in Ernie's chat for a while. And she was talking about, quit trying to put sexual things on Summer and how she didn't approve of that and
Hmm.
everything. And
Hmm.
I'm like, what about what he's saying lately? Does
She
she approve of
has,
that? And now she's over there again?
I
Doug.
think she does try to simmer him down a little bit on that note. She tries to keep him in his place about it, but he's uncontrollable, so that's not going to work. You know what I mean?
JP Fluffit's chapstick. Use your chapstick.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Amanda Vita, that's another one. TM and Ziggy look like fools. Well, I might have to just end this right now and go watch that. I agree with Miss Chapstick. Somehow they all use each other's tricks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And look each other up. I think they're working behind the scenes. And I know PG because she gave Ernie that picture of me. What was the reason to put that up? Somebody in Ernie's chat even said that's cruel. Always going after people's looks, right? PG, she gave that picture to D Presents too. She
Really?
makes your cam up, takes a screenshot, and then uses it later as blackmail or revenge or whatever. So, and somebody flashed her on that. I always wondered, she can't use that though, because she'd lose her channel. But
Right.
Katie sounded unhinged tonight. Ah, another one I got. When doesn't she sound unhinged? JP Fluff. They tried so hard to trigger Jody, and she never budged and told them all about themselves. Well, that was kind of like when they all ganged up on me. That was just they made themselves look like, yeah, total fools. Honestly,
Yeah, I agree with that.
why does Ernie always have to have a posse of women come and rescue him? You know what I mean? Ziggy, I'm surprised he had Ziggy up over there.
I mean, he's been talking to Fred, so
Yeah,
I
that's true.
think Ziggy came up just to ask a question or two, and she's a little bit more confident in her words and clear of a speaker than Fred is. You know what I mean? Fred's a shy guy, so I think
Yeah.
that's why. That's the only reason was she was trying to clarify shit. She wasn't trying to, you know.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
said
Ziggy does have a soft spot for Ernie, though. I will say that.
Innocent said they ganged up on Crystal yesterday. They've done it more than just once. And Ernie did bring her up and tried to use her, right, for content for a while. I mean, they had a decent conversation at one time.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, Crystal, I've seen them treat
Kind
her
of
really
always
bad
That's
lately.
kind of always been his go-to, though. He's always done that.
Yeah.
He likes the dog pile.
Oh yeah. Well, bad. That girl said you, Lisa, were right. I don't know what about, but she said that girl was mean. Oh yeah. Well, bad, that girl said. Yeah, she said that was mean to show that picture. I don't look the best, but there's plenty of pictures of me. And why would Ernie do that? He just did it to be an ass, right?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with what we were talking about. He wasn't going to play that call because it shows that that he and PG were lying about that edited phone call.
Right.
So he's not going to play that. In my opinion, TM nor Ziggy are respectable ladies, and Jody owes them no explanation. Oh, Unhinged. Yes. Unhinged. Yeah. There's a lot of unhinged people on YouTube. Okay.
Sabbath,
Oh.
January. What? I'm sorry.
That girl said I told her you were right about that audio of Summer. Yeah, thank you. People in there were saying, I just listened to yours, Lisa, and there is, are you wearing panties in there? No, there wasn't. That didn't age well. But then
I'm
he
so
never
glad you
changed.
posted that. Thank you.
After all that, he never posted. I was there the night PG did that. And I said that on his panel. She played it at first, and then she put her own, like, her words over it, like what she thought they were saying. And of course, I mean, we all knew she was talking about yucky in there, right? Summer was, but that's not
Right.
the way G interpreted it. Then the next time she played it was that you're not wearing panties, and it was clear as a bell, not staticky like the 911 call. And it was a lady who was nowhere else on that call, just out of the blue, that she obviously just stuck in there. And then it was so obvious that then she edited it, made it like staticky, more like it's part of the call. So she put a lot of work into that and replays it endlessly.
Somebody put a lot of work into that.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy Ray, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think it's her.
JP, I just spied Katie. She sounds wasted. Oh my God. I heard her loud voice and laughed. Innocent, I mentioned that in my phone call today that I recorded. I made 2 calls. We'll play them tomorrow. And that'll unhinge Ernie again. At this point, I just feel like trolling him. Did I tell you what I had in the works?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be epic. Okay.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Okay.
I noted a lot of passings in this, and a lot of them are, I'm sure, irrelevant at this point, but this is one passing that I had noticed. February 2nd, 2022, Jerry McLean passed away.
I gotta say, hello, Mr. Nobody Memes. He's got Jerry McLean. That name sounds familiar. What does he have to do with this?
Don spoke on him in the very, very beginning, actually. He was a neighbor.
Okay.
That was all. I just had the day passed for some whatever reason noted.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think he helped search actually the day she went missing. I think he might have even talked to the news at one point. That's all.
Okay.
There might have been rumors surrounding him, but I cannot recall them offhand, and I'm not even going to go there. So, yeah. But Don mentioned him. I know that's how it came out about him. February 3rd, supposedly, Jody Sue's son accidentally PayPal's a YouTuber $800, and Jody calls them to try to get it back.
Oh my God. I wish she was still in here.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe she's in the bushes.
I don't really have any more details on that.
Holy crap. How do you accidentally send somebody $800?
I don't know. I do not know.
Or have $800 to send?
Sabbath, February 5th, I noted this was like right after Summer's birthday. It would have been like her celebration day because her birthday would have been the day before. It's the first and only time I've ever seen Timmy at the SDA. He was there. I don't know why he was there, but he was definitely there. I would assume for a summer
Yeah.
celebration, or I don't really know, but I did note that he had attended. At this point, since Summer disappeared, 7 months have gone by, and Don has attended roughly 15 Sabbath school classes. So, like I said, it went up dramatically after Summer disappeared, how many times he would go.
Paula
Yeah.
wants to know what day the money was accidentally sent.
February 3rd, 2022.
Okay.
February 6th, Don actually went to jail. It was his court date. He was sentenced from the DUI probation violation. He
Yep.
had 180 days to be served, 11 months, 29 days suspended. What's interesting is the very next day, Jody Sue brings herself to YouTube. She'd already done a ton of Facebook videos at this point. It takes her 2 entire days to upload her 16 videos, just entitled Summer Number 1, Summer Number 2, Summer Number 3. All videos supposedly pertaining to Summer's case. If I can recall off the top of my head, originally those videos were from September that she had posted them on Facebook.
Okay.
They totaled like 3 hours long.
I think I remember when she transferred them all.
Yes, it was the day after John went to jail, which I thought was kind of interesting. She didn't even bring up Summer until like the 10th or 11th video, though, if I can recall. That was a really long time ago since I saw him, but I just remember going through so many of them before she even brought up Summer or anything of any significance, I guess.
He's got me blocked on Facebook and YouTube.
Who?
Jody Sue.
Well, not if you saw her in chat.
Well, she's got me blocked.
Mm-mm.
I think I can see her in chat. I can, when I'm on a panel, I can see.
You just can't.
I can see people in chat that I have blocked.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Because when I was in Ernie's, I could see crime consequences, and yeah, you can always see everybody if you're on panel.
There's a little YouTube glitch, huh? February 9th, this is really interesting. I don't know if I want to read through it, but it's posted on my channel. So I highly recommend go to my channel. It's like a 12-minute video, if that. So in the beginning of the video, I'm going to explain it because it's kind of confusing. In the beginning of the video, I'm just showing chat. And the reason that I'm showing chat is because the person that comes on panel is just in chat in the beginning for the first like few minutes, I guess. And he has a lot to comment in chat, read through the chat that he posts, and then he pops up on panel. So this was February 9th. This was on Purple Phoenix's channel, which I'll be honest, I'm not really familiar with Purple Phoenix. In my opinion, this was Cam, who was in chat and went up on panel, but he was presenting himself as Don Sherfy Sr.
I remember that.
Yeah. It's on my channel. People should definitely check it out. I mean, I could read through it. It's only a page long, but I feel like I feel like people would understand it better if they actually listened to him and read through the chat, because I did not include any of his chat remarks on here. And there is a lot of information that he says in chat as well. I think his screen name was like Don Schlong or something obnoxious like that. It's very interesting.
Well, then we have Jimmy Longschlong. Where are they coming up with all these schlongs?
Oh, look at that. You're right. I never even thought of that.
Cam came up under Sherfy in chat.
In whose chat?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it was definitely on Purple Phoenix. So, and it was still up last I checked. So she had posted it February 9th, 2022, if you want to go back to the original. But like I said, I have it clipped on my channel, everything he said in chat and him going up on panel. So He's basically just, I mean,
Is there
you want me to
anything
read it?
important in it? Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I should probably just read it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Cam says, can you hear me? All right, thank you. I'm just trying to get this straightened out here talking about my boy, talking about Don running his mouth about me all the time. It's too much. Purple says, are you happy with yesterday's outcome? I have no idea what they're talking. Oh, they're talking about, well, maybe when he went to jail, but that was 2 days before. I don't know. He says, oh, well, I mean, I feel like he'll weasel around it one way or another. Purple says, right? He says, I don't know what to say. 6 months? So yeah, they're talking about Don going to jail. Purple says 11 months, 29 days. And if he does rehab, he may be able to get out in 180 days. That's the minimum amount. He says, correct. Just one sec. Let me get a drink. I just don't understand why he has his little, whatever you want to call them, going out there trying to just pick and choose whoever they want to throw under the bus and turn their head that way. I'm sick of it. Purple says, that's what he's been doing since day one, pointing fingers at anybody except him. Cam says, I know. My youngin' made mistakes, and I know he'll get, he'll have to pay for it. But and I'm sorry I put all these uhs in here. My bad. It it doesn't mean he's out there doing this and what they claim. Purple says, right. So what is your take on Jody Sue since you're out, Cam says, just like an excuse me a second, pardon. Purple says again, what's your opinion on Jody? Cam says, well, I'm not too familiar with her, but to be honest, I just know that they was up there fighting and raising all sorts of cane on Andy's property. Yeah, Purple said. He says, I know, I had to run her back down the hill one day because she was up there ranting about property and who owns this and who's going to buy that, and it's just a big mess. Purple says, are you the one that came driving down there when the YouTubers were there with the bullhorn and all that? He says, yes, ma'am. Yes. How was that experience with that? Are they crazy? We're tired, We're tired. Our family cemeteries have been there and they're out there stepping on everything with no respect, yelling on them bullhorns and disturbing my mother-in-law. And it's just, it took a toll on the soul.
What
And
the
then
hell
that
would
woman,
be Cam's motive for this?
I don't know. That's why I got it in here, because I've always wondered. And
Why
then
is
that
he
woman called.
pretending? He must have thought Sherfy wouldn't see that. But why would?
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God!
It gets better. And then that woman called the other day, and I guess I know I talked to her for a while. I should have asked who she was, but it's just been a lot, to be honest with you. Do you know who that woman was?
No, I don't.
That was PG. PG did a conversation interview with Don Sherfy. So now
Okay.
this is Cam commenting on that interview. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. When Ziggy was, so that's what he said. Oh, that woman called. I should have asked who she was, blah, blah, blah. Because and it's weird, I guess. And I haven't even gone back and listened to it, but I guess he must have never asked who she was. Now, I don't know if that was actually Don Sherfy talking to PG or if that was Cam talking to PG, mind you. I don't know, because that video is probably gone. She deletes everything. So I don't know. We'll go
Well,
forward.
how would Cam know that Don Sherfy had gotten a call from PG?
Because PG aired it. It was a public. She
Oh,
made
she
it.
did. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, got you.
So now my question is, did they realize after the fact that he never asked who she was in that anonymous phone call of a stranger, like some stranger calls you, you're not gonna ask who it was? Did they realize that after the fact, and this is them covering their ass?
I don't know. She said I think it was actually Don Sherfy on the phone. Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
she's
know
saying.
either. If somebody's got a clip of that video from PG, I'd love to see that. Please tag me in it or something to compare them, because I truly don't know. I only probably heard that Sherfy video when it first came out. I'm sure it disappeared just as quickly as it came out. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I know in here he brings it up. So why did he bring it up? It sounds like he's covering his ass.
Or he's adding details that could be verified. I wonder if he and Sherfy collaborated on this.
That's been discussed that they might have known each other actually because they look a lot alike. And back in the day, people were questioning whether or not Cam was Sherfy and Sherfy was Cam because they look very, very similar. So there was questions of whether or not they knew each other.
Innocent posted the link to it.
She's
Innocent,
amazing.
you are hitting home runs tonight. Thank you.
Girl,
It's awesome.
that is awesome.
It is seriously awesome. I miss
All right,
Cam and
keep going.
Allie. Cam and Allie are in a bad place as far as I can see.
Oh yeah, it got real bad. It got real bad.
Yeah.
So Purple goes on. When Ziggy was there, she didn't do all the nonsense on Ben Hill. She stopped to pet the dogs and she talked to Fred Hill, but other than that, nobody really even knew she was there. He says, I don't recall seeing her. I don't even know what she looks like, but I don't recall seeing her. And I'll tell you one thing. And Purple says, she was there after the other ones left. He says, well, no, I had heard that Doomafly, Tip Tie, Kraken Cases been out there. He like said some mumbo jumbo shit. Been out there. That's what he said. I typed it. Doomafly, Tip Tie, Kraken Cases has been out there all over the place, but we never saw them, and they did good till this. Purple says, yeah, they have been out there a lot. Cam and Allie. They said they've put search parties together and they have a guy with a drone that helped Don and Candace with the cameras on the property and all of that. He
Oh my
says,
Lord, he's bragging about himself.
he says, I can, yes, ma'am, I can. I've seen a drone and a guy that operates it. They had divers that were out there on the ground searching, and I think that was working with some of the private investigators or something, but I can't be 100% put my money on that. Purple says, do you know Brad Washon? He says, oh, name sounds familiar. They drive a truck? Purple says, I don't think so. I think he owned an auto shop or worked at one. He says, trying to put a name on a face. Purple says, do you have a face to put with Brad? No, I don't think he came on YouTube like back in August or September, maybe July, but he's local to you guys and he went and took a video at the Meadows and all of that. And he said he was passing out flyers, a ton of flyers. He's the one that helped organize the big prayer vigil and all of that.
He must know him if he said he worked at a car dealership.
What?
Well, how would Don Sherfy know that Brad Washon worked at a car dealership?
I think that was Purple saying that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. That was Purple saying that. He just asked if he owned Cam just asked if he owned a truck.
Okay. No, the chat shows up in my replays, Innocent. Unless it won't show links. Maybe it doesn't show links. I don't know. Okay.
No, this is Purple speaking on Brad because she goes on and says he helped organize a big prayer vigil and all of that, but come to find out he's basically a big scammer. And he has arrests in Washington and Sullivan County for theft. And he's actually in the process of court for both of those right now. He says, you have to bear with me. I've been sick. So just bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to think. I see people in the house that are looking for chat. People say I get a hold of them. I'm going to put my foot in their hind ends. They come back out here. I'll tell you right now, I'm sick of it. Purple says, I don't blame you. I know people suck. He says, that's the main reason why I was on here trying to find them. Purple says, have you been on their page? It's Kraken Cases. He says, I forgot it or I got blocked. What's that? Why was I trying to under a different name? But I emailed them and they never called. Purple says, even if they have you blocked, you'd still be able to see their pages, but if you chat, they won't be able to see you in chat if they have you blocked. which I think that would be really cruddy if they had you blocked, especially if they're trying to make you say that your son is a suspect. They should give you the ability to speak. He said they need to come question him and clear him and get it done. And
He and Sherfy had to have cooked this up together, in my opinion.
I mean, like I said, the only thing he really, I noted the PG call, and he said, he said I didn't say my name. I probably should have asked her name. And then that woman that called the other day, I guess, I don't know. I talked to her for a while. I should have asked who she was, but it's just been a lot, to be honest with you. Like, who gets a phone call and doesn't ask who it is, Lisa? That's what he just said. He's covering his ass. I feel like he's more working with PG than Sherfy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to hear that call. I want to hear that call with PG. Because, the only thing of Sherfy we've ever seen, obviously, is with Molly and them at the end of the, down on the road, which is kind of long. And that's how I knew his voice. And I obviously know Cam's voice. You know what I mean? So when I heard this interview,
yeah,
I knew instantly that it was Cam. It's not fucking Sherfy.
No Prayer Garden just went live and said Marlena handed Jody Sue. What? Question mark. Was Marlena on panel today with Jody Sue?
Yes.
On Ernie's? Okay. Of course she was.
Yeah.
She's a new, because she goes along with whatever he says.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the end. He dropped off after that.
Innocent said Cam cooked it up. Just such an odd thing. That reminds me of Kevin on a live pretending that he's talking to Ernie while Ernie's in jail. And that was so fake. Why would you do that?
That is weird.
I had to laugh. He's like, oh, yeah, Ernie. He says, I'm live and I don't want you to get in trouble, so I'll talk to you later, okay? Who pretends something like that? That was weird.
Yeah, that
Marlene,
is really weird.
making her rounds on YouTube. I seen her in another random chat earlier. Oh yeah, she's getting her 15 minutes of fame, isn't she? She was after PG, because I did talk to her. I was on a phone call with her, and she put Ricky on the phone. I mentioned that before. Ricky didn't like Fred Mill. He was actually kind of comical. I enjoyed talking to him, but she said that she wasn't going to talk on anybody else's panel. She was going to start her own channel. And she did start another channel. I think she has more than one, but she was going to talk on that. Well, that didn't last, did it? Now somebody's going to help her start a YouTube channel. She already got one. Okay. Keep going. I'm just so flabbergasted at him pretending to be Sherfy and why. And
I know. It blew my mind. And that's another reason that I just think, they're all kind of connected and feeding off each other and working together and
oh yeah, 100%.
All the things. 100%. It's obvious. They make it obvious at this point, So Jody Sue brought herself to YouTube just at the beginning of February. Like I said, she uploaded all those original 16 videos. It wasn't until months later that I actually noticed that she was live streaming like an outrageous amount of time. So I started keeping track. So this is the first of many starting keeping track of how often Jody Sue's live streaming.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm sorry. So everyone is that's a really good question. I don't know. That's a really good question. But these numbers are pretty these numbers are pretty outrageous, and they progressively get higher. And I used to kind of have them all clumped together, but I've added a lot of information in between them now, so they're definitely like spaced out throughout the timeline. But just so you know, like I'll refer to them as like Jody Sue this week, and that's what I'm talking about when I say that. It's how many videos?
For 12 hours at a time, wouldn't she? For a while.
It's so what I noted on a weekly basis was how many videos she would do on a weekly basis and how many hours all those videos totaled. So the first week that I noted, Jody Sue did 19 videos totaling 54 hours. The second week I noted, Jody Sue did 15 videos totaling 38 hours. That was February.
That's a full-time job right there.
Yes, ma'am. 100%. On February 22nd, 2022, or excuse me, February 22nd, 2022, at 2:22 a.m., Tim Mullen drops his first YouTube summer video.
Was that on
Which
the
always-
Don Wills Family official channel?
That was on, I don't know what, yeah, I don't know. Was it? Ooh, pop quiz question. I don't remember, Lisa. It was
I
where
don't
he
know.
posted all the videos of his little excursions around town and yada yada yada. And honestly,
Okay, I don't know.
the only reason I noted this one was because the date stuck out to me like a freaking sore thumb, and it makes my skin crawl every time I see it. And I will explain to you why. February 22nd, 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. 2022, 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. At 2:22 a.m. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Now, Tim, in my opinion, is a numbers guy. He's shown that in his previous posts. He likes numbers. He's like, it gets excited by numbers, like cool, weird, coincidental numbers that pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like he dropped this video at this exact time because he thought it was cool. You know what I mean? With all the twos.
Yeah, I
But
get
if you
you.
break it down, like I said, it's literally 666, which
Huh.
sorry I dragged that out, but
Again,
you know what I'm
this
saying?
is personal How I Met the Wells series.
And while we're talking about 666, I will bring up the 666 email that was discussed today. And you said you didn't listen to today, so you don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, but
Today on
Ernie got an email last night
right.
that was from a 666 from an iCloud, and I'm like, Don doesn't have an Apple; he has an Android.
Right. It was you into God. 666 was the email.
Yeah, I
That
don't
email,
remember, but yeah,
that's what it was. And I know that's what it was because I found that email 5 years ago. That email does exist.
Huh.
I believe it actually pops up on his dad's page or his son's page, not his page. It's hard to decipher them. You can tell the difference by the addresses, obviously, but I don't know where his dad and his son both lived. Like, I know they're both in Utah, obviously, but I don't know whose address is whose. I've never really looked that deep into his dad or his older son, to be honest with you.
his older
So I'm
son
not sure.
lives in Arkansas, so
Okay. But that is a legitimate address under Don Wells. I found it years ago, and I always questioned and thought it was super weird. It's you into God 666. That's the email.
that is really weird. But he said
It
it
is
came
really
from.
weird. It might
He
have,
said it came
and
from an iPhone.
it might have, and it could be actually
I
from
wonder.
Don. I don't know, but I'm just saying when you search it, when I looked it up, when I was searching the family in the earlier days, I will say that email popped up and it caught my attention. But I mentally noted that it wasn't on Don Wells' page. It was on one of the other twos. I can't recall. I think it was on his dad's, but I don't remember at
But
this point. It's been so long.
sent a phone number and then Ernie called it and Don didn't answer or nobody answered. So what's the point of sending somebody your phone number if you're not going to answer the phone?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think that was really Don, but I don't know. Now you got me wondering.
I mean, I think I saw this
Don hates
screenshot
Ernie.
of it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
You think he does? I've
Mm-hmm.
always kind of wondered.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
February 22nd. I mean, I'll say it, I guess. Jody Sue's brother passed away. It was said to be complications after surgery. She tells us that YouTubers kept her away from seeing her brother and from the funeral, but they
What
were,
YouTubers?
she never said it's this, that one, and the other one, but that was what she said at the time.
Why would
But
YouTubers keep her away from the funeral?
it wasn't even true. That was later completely debunked because there's pictures of her at the service. So that didn't
Oh,
happen.
hi,
And
Cindy Lou Who.
I think her sister even came out later and confirmed that she was there multiple times to see her brother. So why would she even put that on YouTubers? Like, why would she even say that? I always thought that was weird.
I don't know.
Um,
Her dad, was in prison, and I called about him, and he did pass away.
and
But they wouldn't give me any, any other information. But there was a question about that at the time.
right.
I called.
February 24th, 2022, Candace continues to post short videos of kids' pictures that she's like kind of moving over, it looks like, from other social media. She also
Her
does an
kids.
interview with
Her
her
kids, right?
kids.
Okay.
Her kids, yes.
Right.
She also does an interview with Cracking Cases, and she says she's not in love with Donnie anymore. She says when she's
This is
talking
while
about
he's in
going
jail, right?
correct,
Okay.
he'd only been in jail about not even barely 3 weeks at this point.
Okay.
And then Cam is actually talking to her about the day that Summer disappeared. And one of the things that she said that stuck out to me, which I've actually seen other people clipped, so it obviously stuck out to other people. She said, "What if I walked out with her that day?" Um, Implying that she was inside and she sent Summer outside, I guess. I was just kind of
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting
That's
comment
probably
to
the
make.
we that Candy talked about. I don't know what they were doing in there, but
Yeah, that we's always been a question to me as well.
what was I going to say about Cam? Wait, go back and read that again. See if it'll jog my mind.
Um, I just said that she was on Cracking Cases and told Cam that she's not in love with Donnie anymore. And going through the days, she said, "What if I walked out with her?" She was in love
Um,
with Benny at this point. Her and Benny were doing videos together, tinfoil hats, and country love songs, and all the things were going on at this point, I do believe. Her and Benny were buds. So she was probably comparing her options, if you know my opinion,
oh,
you know?
yeah.
The last week of February, beginning of March, Jody Sue does 17 videos totaling 38 hours.
Oh my goodness.
March 2022, Lips actually released the conversation she had with Marlena, which I did transcribe, but we are not going to go over that.
Well, is it very long?
It's like 5 pages.
I'd like to compare her stories, honestly.
All right, I love
Oh,
ya. Y'all
wait,
got to bear with me.
did you put Lips? That's how Lips and I met. Was she taped Candace? Of course she did, and put out about Candace's child that they took from her in Arkansas. And
Oh,
I
yeah, I remember that.
fired off an email that was not very nice. And I'm like, Jeannie and I have spent all this time trying to keep that under wraps because I didn't want heels on the ground showing up their bullhorn at this girl's house.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I get that.
so I was pissed that she put that out there. She
Right.
said she was going to show Candy and Candace for who they really are. So anyway, that's how we came on. She was on James
Um,
King of the Streets. Jamie's King of the Streets. Jamie, Jack Henry Jamie?
Barry. No, Ernie's
Oh,
Jamie.
oh, okay. I don't know that. Who that is.
You don't know Jamie?
Ernie's Jamie?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
really.
He's pretty interesting. He's pretty interesting. He's a character. He was at the Hemp Cafe with Tina. He was part of Printer Hunter Nation when it first started, but he definitely split ways. He actually outed Ernie on some bullshit. I talked about this before with you. So, when Ernie was first trying to present the Special Forces of Liberty and saying that
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go get a glass of water. So if I sound a little different, that's probably why. Said he was working on the Special Forces of Liberty and they were trying to get the SOCA Act going. So one of Ernie's claims had been that he participated in this like professional panel of people that were all professionals and they had this big talk about it and Ernie was just bragging about it, you know what I mean? Well then lo and behold he comes out with this video of himself on this panel talking to all these people. And it kind of seemed legit. I mean, it was kind of in the earlier days, I guess, of YouTube AI. I don't know. I don't know how the video was honestly made, but it looked legitimate. Jamie, after he departed ways with Ernie, came out and brought out video verification of the real original video that Ernie is not in. Somebody
I do
clipped him in
remember
it.
that. I do
That's
remember that.
Jamie.
Jamie
That's Jamie.
Berryhill, Miss Rest of
Yes,
Jamie Berryhill.
correct. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
The Lycon group. You know, that SOCA Act, Ernie keeps saying, talking about that has never been passed.
No,
And
it
somebody
hasn't.
called the Special Forces of Liberty and they said, we don't hunt children. We just do legislation. And they
Yeah.
send it to, senators or whatever to try to introduce it. Yeah. And they never have. So,
Ernie was the driver for Chris Severe.
yeah.
That's
And I
kind of
think
his
Chris,
only connection, I think. And him and Chris might have spent some time together, to say the least.
well,
No.
Chris is so anti-gay though. He's
Really?
known as that. He's done rallies or something against gays.
The guy that tried to marry his laptop?
Yeah. Yep. He's an
Hmm.
anti-gay activist.
All right. Well, you look up his music videos and you might have a different opinion.
All right. I
I
was
thought I
always
sent
worried.
you. I thought I sent you the link to his YouTube page.
I was always
Kid's
worried to
goofy.
see that guy have a heart attack on a live. Is he a big guy?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
big guy. Yeah, he is a big guy. And he would get so amped up and so angry. And yeah, he's kind of like Griff, and Griff would get real
Oh my God.
riled up and you know what I mean? So I see that. But yeah, I think he's still around.
I just had a post pop up, and I think it might have been from Griff, but he's got, once again, a different channel name, and it said Mrs. Griff is starting a new channel. Someone you all know and love.
His lady always had a channel too, though. She's had a channel on and off. That's how he got involved, I think, was because she was following it, right? That's
Oh,
what
I
I
don't
thought.
know. Again, I
Because he would
agree. He's doing well, thank goodness. I will forever like Jamie. He has helped me through a very rough time, making sure I was okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. He definitely came out with some truths on Ernie, that's for sure. And I'm sure he's got a lot more that he could talk about and tell, to be honest. Somebody should probably.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But are they scared or
Right.
I got a lot I could come out with too, but that would give away where I got it from, so I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Okay. So we're reading Marlena's.
We're leading Marlena. If at any time you want to stop me, feel free.
Okay.
It'll give me a break. You know what I mean? All right. So
All right,
Marlena
everybody, let's listen. This is early. And remember, Lips paid Marlena's bills for months and later told me that all Marlena did was lie to her. So let's compare what she says here with what her story is now. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't read this in a long time, so I don't really know what there is to compare, to be honest with you, but you know what I mean? This is March 2022, so yeah, it was real early. Marlena starts. It kind of seems like it came in like halfway through because her first sentence, it's all she says is, "He has always watched porn all the time, always." That's how she starts it. Marlena.
We
Lip
don't know who
says
she was talking about.
she was talking about Don, in my
Oh my
opinion.
God.
In my opinion, I mean, they go on to continue to talk about him, I think. So yeah, I always thought she was talking about Don. Lip says he seems like that kind of dude. Outbursts on YouTube. Marlena says his outburst was a lot worse than they were on YouTube, than anybody had put out there. Lip says, "What about Candace?" Marlena says, "Oh yeah, she's got it rough." Lip says, "That's what people are saying. She just isn't herself no more." Lip says, "I mean, he came, which my father is dead." Lip says, "I know, I'm sorry about that." Marlena says, "He came and told my dad not less than probably 2.5 months ago that he had to sacrifice her for his sins they committed." Lip says, "Did it have something to do with church?" Marlena says, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had to sacrifice her to get in the good graces with God. Something he told my dad they had to sacrifice her, which, back in the day, they always had to sacrifice someone they loved to get their sins washed away or whatever, or evil away. And that's what he told my father." Lip says, "With that new church, the SDA thing?" Marlena says, "Whatever church they were going to at the time, I think it was with that woman. But then at Christmas time, I swear to God, I thought I'd seen Summer. I could still see her, that little girl, to this day in the Kohl's parking lot, and nobody's ever looked for her." Lip says, "When they mean sacrifice, did they have to give her to church?" Marlena says, "I don't know. He said he had to sacrifice her for his sins. I'm guessing that he had to kill her or they had to kill her. I don't know. Then again, it comes back to, he was a dope head. He was a cocaine addict. He was a meth addict. He was a drunk. I mean, he was violent. And then, like I said, in May when I went over there, I asked her if he had been out on one of his binges, and she said, no, not yet, but it feels like it's coming. He left the same night and then never came back for a week. He does it a lot. Nobody knows who his dealer is down there though, but like that, I mean, a lot of people said you get mixed up in the cartel and owing them and people a lot of money. They'll make you give up one of your kids, or they'll kill your whole family, or someone was, hang on.
Yeah, but they don't do it secretly. They
No,
chop
they
up
don't.
people and spread their parts across the front lawn.
That's true. It's
In
terrifying.
my opinion, nobody is going to give Don drugs on credit. I'm sorry.
I mean, I had heard like that crazy outrageous, like, I don't even want to repeat it. It was so outrageous of an amount. I'd never heard that before until just recently.
About
Like
what?
40 or $60,000
Oh,
or something like that.
yeah, it changes all the time.
I mean, I had heard like the $50,000 thing long time ago from like the Denise or PG or whoever it was that said that. You know what I'm
Oh, yeah,
saying?
Denise Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah, that was the only time I've ever heard that insane amount of money. I don't know. Which I didn't give credit to, mind you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's just an oft repeated rumor that has
Right,
morphed over time. Oh, again says
right,
I heard 30K. Yeah, I've heard 40, 60, all over the place.
right.
For all we know,
Wow.
PG came up with that first.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like it could just be, one of the first big old heaps of bullshit that we, all
Yeah,
bought at the
yeah.
time because we were all searching and looking and trying to get whatever information we can, and any little bit we're going to hang on to, because we needed something. And yeah, it could have just stuck with us all, and it could be just complete bullshit.
And Fred mentioned it too, but then he used to troll chats and stuff, and then he would incorporate, because someone pointed that out, he would incorporate rumors and things into his stories.
Oh yeah,
So that he could have seen it somewhere and then talked about it. Okay, keep
yeah.
going.
DJ Smith. Okay. Blonde hair and blue eye. I wouldn't bet that for a minute. Wouldn't bet that for 1 minute. I'm from Beach Creek. I know for a fact kids don't disappear down there. They never have. So I don't know what game or whatever they're playing. But then again, my daughter said they were packing a suitcase to make her go away, that she was taking a trip. So I don't know. My daughter was there for 4 days. She was there on that Friday. Before that Tuesday, she went missing. Summer's grandmother brought my daughter home. Candace's mom is weird in her own way, too. I mean, but Candace got tattoos of her sister that's missing in Ohio or wherever she's missing from. In May at this time, she was talking to a boy. That was Candace was talking to a boy that was younger than me. I'm 35 and he wasn't but like 21. The boy who lived right there on the corner, going into the road on the left-hand side, Daniel, he's got a sister, Daniel Chambers. She was talking to him like sexual. I know for a fact Hunter was around all the time. She bought him beer and stuff and liquor, smoked pot with him, and all that. Now, sexual, I can't say, but she bought him drugs and done everything, gave him money. Lip said, "What about Allie letting her kids hang out with them?" Marlena said, "I guess because they were friends, and she's a drug head just as much as Candace and all of them too. It's got a wall with sheetrock. Hang on, did I skip the thing? No. Oh, she's talking about the basement. It's got a wall with sheetrock next to it, and the boys slept upstairs next to the kitchen on the outskirts. Used to be a living room, a
Well,
cubby
that was only
downstairs.
after CPS came. CPS made him move the boys upstairs, the older ones.
Yes, because they all slept downstairs before
Yeah.
that. Yes. Candace stated that in her interview with Chris. Not specifically that, but she had stated that
Right.
that's why she brought the little guy up. She said the little guy could sleep downstairs with Summer because he was only 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made Don build a wall in the bathroom to block off the toilets.
So it used to be a living room, a cubby downstairs for shoes. She was talking about going to the back door where she said that she walked. She would never walk. She never walked. She let them kids run and go in and out of that house as they pleased. They went walking through the woods and everything when they pleased, down off the hill toward the road whenever they pleased. Lip said, "Did Summer wander off?" Marlena said, "No, never. She knew better than to go off of that swing." Everybody said the way she told that story at first, she told me when she called me, she said she was in the kitchen. Yeah, she called me that day she went missing. She called me about 7:30 that night and told me that she didn't know Summer had been missing for like 30 minutes and they were out looking for her, and I told her, "You need to call the law. She's young." I said, "You need to call the law or I'll call the law," at 7:30, and Candace never went for a walk. When she told that shit, she was flying straight to hell. Candace never walked around that place at all. I think her and her mama was doing whatever drugs they got that day. Probably got Loratabs. Candace loved Loratabs. Percocets, she loved hydrocodone, pills, anything that was a pain pill she loved.
Yeah, but
She
she
said,
didn't get pain pills. She got anti-inflammatory.
that's what you said. She got anti-inflammatory.
By law, any opioids have to be e-script, and they had a paper script they dropped off, so she didn't get opioids that day. Which figures into a lot of theories. Oh, they sold them. Yeah, a lot of nonsense. True. Okay.
She said she said when she got her teeth pulled, she didn't get any. Marlena says she did get some when she got her teeth pulled. Lip says, "Have you been talking to her a little bit?" Marlena says, "I haven't talked to her since Summer went missing because that could have been my kid that she let just disappear." Lip said, "Did Jay ever say anything bad happened to her while she was there?" Marlena said, "No. She said they were always good to her. I don't know, maybe it was just a put on in front of my kids so they wouldn't go and tell me." Lip said, did Don ever shower with Summer? Marlena said, yeah, he showered with all of his kids. They only had one shower there, and he showered with all the kids from the age of Summer or maybe another year out, maybe. Lips. Why didn't Candace ever shower with them? Marlena. Candace barely showered herself. She has hairs on her face that's longer than her armpits. Lips. Where do you think Summer is right now? Marlena. I think they gave her up to their drug dealer in Knoxville or Nashville, wherever he was going to get it. I really think they made him turn her over. Lips. What do you think the drug dealers do with kids? Marlena. I mean, they're black market. They sell them, they prostitute them out, they train them to do what they want them to do, especially if they're redheaded and green-eyed. They like them if they're blonde hair and blue-eyed. They like them too. Candace cut all of her hair off because she couldn't stay treated from freaking lice. My old man used to work with Don, and he was with Don day in and day out working on the job site when he would come home and get drunk and then get up the next morning and go out again. And I'm telling you, he made more money than in a week than I've seen anyone in my whole life make, but nothing to show for it. Yeah, she only went to the grocery store like once a week or once a month maybe, and that was it. And you wouldn't see them out shopping or nothing. They never went anywhere. Don was never with them when they went out anywhere. Don was never with them.
He was working.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, how would Don take Summer to Knoxville? Because he didn't disappear to Knoxville at that time.
No, I didn't. I don't even know the first time he actually went. That would be interesting to know though after. Like I know he disappeared because I remember Robin had to help get him to come back, but I didn't know when that
Benny was there. That was when Benny was there.
Okay, so that would have been December?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2021. I mean, that's 6 months later, so.
Yeah, I don't believe
I'm sure I'm sure he went other times, but I kind of wish Candace had kept track of that, you know what I mean? That would be nice. She's the only one that would really know,
Yeah.
Sorry, hang on 1 second. Don was never with them. Let's say if they went to Gatlinburg, Don wasn't with them. If they went to the splash pad or the splash country or splash pad, Don was never with them. She'd go out yard sailing. Don was never with them. He'd work, come home, get drunk, pass out, and go to work the next morning. Lips.
Well,
where did he get the Subaru? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, she did take him a lot of places. However, Don is in the video at the fair, right? And
that was like 2018 or something crazy. But yeah, he is. You're right. You're right.
Don taking Summer trick or treating, walking down the sidewalk at Halloween.
Yeah, and I've seen pictures of Don in the canoe because you said you never seen that, but I have seen pictures of Don in the canoe. So he did do certain things with him.
Yeah, well, he was working.
Yeah,
primarily. I think he just worked and had Candace, Candace took care of the kids.
No, I know. Agree with that.
Marlena. Well, even Lips said all Marlena did was lie to her. So, wait, so Tina lied yesterday about her daughter being related to Brad Washawn? What? What? How does that work out?
I mean, I told you that his son married a Simmerly. I don't know if it's her daughter or her niece, to be honest. I think it's her niece.
Okay.
But I'm not 100%. But his son married a Simmerly. That was the connection that I told you that,
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Right. I didn't hear Tina talk about it, though.
I don't want to derail you. Yeah, Don was always working. Don was always working.
Yeah. You're fine. I know where I'm at.
Okay.
Lip says, where did he get the Subaru? Marlena says, he paid for it at a dealership. They were still having payments on it the last time I'd seen her. And the hole in the wall, and she said she didn't know what she was going to do when he went to jail because of the car payment. I don't know if the hole in the wall had anything to do with it. I think Lips clipped this a little bit, obviously, so that's part of the reason it's a little choppy. Lip
She does that.
says, yeah, Lip says, how did she know he was going to jail? Marlena says she's the one that put him in there. She's the one who called the law on him. That's when he got arrested for not the drunk driving, but the one assault and all that. Lip says Jose was there, right? Marlena says, yep. Lip says, what kind of person is this Jose? Marlena said, a junkie. Lip says, where do you think Jose is at? Marlena says, I don't know, probably somewhere in Knoxville. Lip says, when he's talking, you hear all these men in the background, and then there's an operator. Marlena says, he's in jail. If you hear all that and it says you have 1 minute left, he's in jail. Or maybe he's using a burner somewhere and he's got a lot of people around or something. Lip says, what kind of people are Jody, Sue, and Andy? Is she a witch? I thought Ernie didn't let witches on his panel. Marlena says, no, she ain't no witch. She's just a drug addict. And now Fred Hill's mommy is a witch. She's always loved little girls and all that. Supposedly the cops is supposed to check her basement and stuff, but Fred Hill is nothing but a junkie.
Well, that's true. One thing she said
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah. And that confirmed that I said that Fred Hill's mom, people said she was a witch. Remember that? Because
Oh my
Jody was
God.
wanting to go to the witch. Remember when Jody was wanting to go to the witch's grave?
Yes.
Yeah. So who was she referring to? You know what I mean? That's why I thought she was referring to Fred's mom, but Fred's mom hadn't even passed away at that point. So that's not true. My opinion was false. But we don't know who the witch was. Anyways, sorry. Excuse me. Lip says, people had said you lived there and was there every day. Marlena says, no, I don't live there and I've never lived with Don and Candace. Lip says, they told us about your old man coming up there and stealing tools and your daughter being there the day before Summer went missing. Lip says, my daughter was there that Wednesday to that Friday. She came
Marlena
home
said.
Friday. Yes, Marlena said. Sorry. She came home that Friday because Candace's mom brought her home. Candace went, or Summer went missing on Tuesday, and my old man didn't steal any tools from him. Don also owes my old man a lot of money for working for him that he never got paid. He's done that to a lot of people. He can't keep workers because of that. Lips. Why does everyone in that area want to keep everything hush hush? Marlena. Because they're all drug addicts. Lips. There's a lot of SA charges. Do you think they're sharing pics or something? Marlena. I don't know, but Beach Creek is that way down there. You just keep your mouth shut. Snitches go in ditches, and you're going to disappear. Some of them that's still old down there believe in that. They very well believe in that.
She did say
Lip
she
says,
had Journey checked out and nothing had ever happened to her.
yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She was shocked that people were talking about that, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, they put it on Summer. Everybody that goes
100%.
missing is the very first thing they say. Oh, they were terrific.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I get so tired of it. Okay.
Lip says, they said Don narked on a bunch of people when they did that big bust. Marlena says, the kingpin was James White and all of them. It's been said Don did that. Yeah, he did. Lips.
Hey,
Do you think
hey
Summer
Mama
had to
T.
pay? Do you
Hello,
think
Mama
Summer
T.
had to pay for Don doing this? Marlena, she might have. I don't think about it that way, but yeah, she might have because most of the kingpin that they took down, I knew they either came to me or they're friends of my father's or they had pickings with my dad. And I was raised down there all my life, but there's a lot of things that he needs to keep his mouth shut about, and that's probably why they arrested him. Let's go around to separate them, to get them to talk. Lip said, any rumors down there if Don is talking while he's in jail? Marlena says, I don't know. My sister-in-law's daddy works down there for helping search for Summer and all. And he's the one who sits at the bottom of her driveway. His name is Donnie. I'm not going to say his last name. He's the
She's
one
not
who's down
talking
there.
about Chad?
No, no, she's talking about a police officer. He's the one who's down there looking for Summer. He's part of the search team, and they sit at her house too. They have been since they redone the search this last time, which would have been November. Is she talking about like for months later? I'd never heard that.
I don't know. Mama T said, did I hear about the challenge I issued to Ernie? No. No. I didn't chat. Okay.
Lip says, who are the PIs? Marlena says, I think somebody from Kingsport. I don't know. She said she had her own PI searching and the stuff and all of that last time she talked to me. But I'll tell you what, if she ever comes to me, I'll swing. I will put her ass on her ass. I've already told her that we will ever come at me swinging. I don't know. She's scared of me. She's really scared of me. Lip says, what was up with the blue couch in the basement? Marlena says, there ain't never been a blue couch in the basement. The basement door was always locked, and that's another thing that pisses me off, too. She said she went in that door, and she went out the basement door. There's no way in hell that she went out that basement door and didn't see her.
Everybody agrees on that basement door was always locked. Everybody.
Yeah?
Even the boys. Everybody said that door was always locked.
Yeah?
Well, they wouldn't want people just walking into their bedroom, right? Because that door went right into Don and Candace. Somebody that was there said that Don didn't even use that door to go to work. He climbed upstairs and went out that door.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I don't know. There's no way in hell she went out that basement door and she didn't see her because of the way the camper is. You can see the basement door from the front door of the camper.
No, you can't.
No, I don't think you can either. I don't think you can. You can see when you walk feet out, but there's a hill right there.
Yeah.
So since there's a hill, that hill, especially if it was summer coming out, that hill would block you. Now, maybe you could see an adult, possibly, the top of their head, possibly, but you would not be able to see Summer because there is a mound of dirt on that side of the house that comes from the driveway down to the back door. You understand what I'm saying? It's that driveway that wraps around the house, actually. You can't see. Maybe an adult, but if Summer would have just popped out that door and ran around to her swing, I don't think you could have seen her.
No. Although her swing was a direct line from the upstairs door. But yeah, you can't see. Well, it's all academic because the door was always locked, right? So we know she didn't go out the door.
Right.
That would be interesting, Mom T.
So theoretically, the door could have been unlocked. I mean, I know that the boys told David Dotson that it was locked, but the boys also could have been in trouble if it wasn't locked. So they could have said it was locked just to cover their own ass. You understand what I'm saying? Because Don had already stated before that he had given the boys shit for keeping it unlocked. Now, mind you, if what we know at this point is somewhat true, that the boys were home alone that day, who's to say the boys didn't go out that door and leave it unlocked? We don't know.
No, but they wouldn't have any reason to tell David Dotson that unless
they sure if they knew they were going to get in trouble for it, they sure would. What do you mean?
Yeah, but he's not going to rat on them.
They don't know that. They're children.
All right.
It's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect 3 boys to stay in the house all day long. That's for damn sure.
Well, they were playing video games. Yeah.
Right, but
kids do that hours on end.
I don't know. I just always thought
they ate cereal for lunch.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible. I just always kind of thought, and I know that you kind of stick with that because they did tell David Dotson that, but I've always kind of thought, well, maybe they told him that just to, so they didn't get in trouble. Because they knew they would have gotten in trouble if they said it was unlocked. Like, that's obvious. Don literally had said before that we're always yelling to the boys, make sure you lock the door, make sure, So it was an issue. The kids were expected to be a little bit more responsible than usually kids are, I feel like, home by themselves at that young age. And Don's always telling them to watch Summer at that young age. Like, it's not kids' responsibility to watch their sister. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like they did put that responsibility on them a lot. And if the kids thought for 1 second they were going to get in trouble, they're going to tell you that door was locked because they're not going to get in trouble. Just my opinion.
Could be.
And now I lost my place. Give me one moment, please. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, she didn't live there. She said she never lived there. Old man coming up and stealing the tools. They told us about your old man coming up there and stealing tools and your daughter being there the day before Summer went missing. My daughter was there, like I said, from Wednesday to that Friday. She came home that Friday because Candace's mom brought her home. Candace went, and Summer went missing on Tuesday. My old man didn't steal any tools from him. Don also owes my old man a lot of money for working for him that he never got paid. And he's done that to a lot of people. That's why he can't keep workers. Why does everyone, or excuse me, Lips, why does everyone in that area want to keep everything hush hush? Because they're drug addicts. I feel like I read some of this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did.
My bad. Blue couch. Okay. What was up with the blue couch, right?
Yeah, she said that
Okay.
there was never a blue couch.
Okay. That's where we ended. Who else could she have? Oh, Hunter. Okay. Where else could she have gone? Anything to do with Hunter? Sorry. That's that was Lip saying this. Marlena says that's the story she told police. The story she told me was that she was standing in the kitchen window getting ready to fix supper, and she looked out of the window, and Summer had been gone from her swing. Them kids know better than to walk off that hill by themselves. The only way that she went off that hill is her mama or daddy took her off that hill, or somebody lured her off that hill. And she wasn't good with strangers. It had to be somebody that she knew. She knew very well, like me. She don't wander off that hill. Wait, sorry. She don't want off that hill with me, which doesn't even make sense. I don't think that's what she actually said. Because I've known her forever, since she was born. I was supposed to have gotten Waylon in about 2012 or 10, or whenever she was going to have him. I had all the documents signed where I could get him and everything. Lips, do you have paperwork still you could show? Marlena, I've not even got all my stuff out of my mother's. All my stuff is still in Baileyton, and I moved home to take care of my daddy when I found out he was sick about 9 months ago. I'm the one who found him dead. I'm the one who knew he was going to die. I'm the one who found him in the bathroom. I'm the one who helped with the funeral arrangements. I'm the one who put him in the ground. I carried my daddy to the ground. I mean, I've done everything I could do. I have no regrets about my father being dead. My dad is better off where he's at, and he's not suffering anymore. He's not, he had a lot of health issues, and, I miss my daddy dearly every day. He was ready to go. He was part of the drug ring in that year that everybody got busted. And my daddy got told to get out while he could. And he did get out when he could and got away and started living right after that because my mama had passed away. He turned his life over to God and got away. I mean, he done right. Lips.
It's weird she said, I have no regrets over my dad's.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. Lip says, anything you have to show proof would be great. Marlena says, I'm not lying or making nothing up. I've been friends with him ever since Don worked with my daddy about 10 and a half years ago. Now she says 20 years ago, mind you. That's the first thing I caught. Here she says 10 and a half years ago. Now she's saying
Don
20
wasn't
years.
even there 20 years ago.
Right.
Was he?
Well, I questioned it
No.
because he was there with Pam, but I didn't know exactly when him and Pam were there. But that's the first, that's definitely a whatever. Ever since Don been working with my daddy about 10 and a half years ago, Summer's favorite food was pizza. Summer's birthday was March 5th, February 4th, something. Her name was Summer Utah Moon Wells. She said it wrong. Her favorite candy was Reese's Cup. She loved chocolate milk, drunk gallons and gallons of chocolate milk. They had to have chocolate milk all the time. Her favorite soda was Mountain Dew. She drank Mountain Dew from the time she was itty bitty till she could drink by herself. Her favorite thing was Paw Patrol. Her favorite color was pink. She loved my daughter to death. That was her only little friend who was a girl that she got along with. We used to go to Kingsport all the time. She used to go and get high with this girl named Brandy. Lip says, "Who's this April girl?" Marlena says, "I don't know." Lip says, "Did they ever go to church before this?" Marlena says, "Yeah, they went to Solomon's Temple at the end of Beach Creek. It was Baptist." Lip says, "Why did Don go to Utah?" Marlena says, "I really haven't been able to figure that out either." And then with him having one of the boys by herself and only one of the boys, Josie, was his, he told Josie if he went over to the schoolhouse and ever ratted him out again, he'd bust him right in the mouth and nobody would ever know. And he was in all the videos that they had recorded and everything on the news and everything. And I think also about that too, I think he was a little bit closer to Josie than he was any of them because he told on that time that the DCS worker come up there, he said, "If you ever run your mouth again, I will make sure you disappear and nobody will ever find you." And then Summer went missing. I thought, oh my God, he really made one of them disappear. Lip says, "They said Don was at work that day." Marlena, "Well, let me tell you something. I live in between where Don works at his main boss and Beach Creek. There's no way in hell he made it from Beach Creek or the job site to Beach Creek and enough time to beat the police. There wasn't no way, unless she called him from when either that is or when I think he either sold her off or either she drowned and she panicked and buried her." Lips, do they have a spot where they go to do that kind of thing? Marlena, I mean, they checked everything, but I'm telling you, he's got rid of her really quickly. Either she's in a septic tank under the house, or he walked up on top of that mountain where the waterfall is and buried her. There's a
Oh, for
waterfall up there?
crying out loud.
Okay, so we're going to pause because that waterfall has been thoroughly discussed and thoroughly talked about. Fred Hill brought that waterfall up. So when this interview happened, a tip came in about that waterfall. And there's a neighbor on Ben Hill, Gorley, I believe the waterfall is on his property. And Fred said when this tip came out that they went and woke up him at like 2 in the morning and made him take the officers to this waterfall to search it. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No, but I know a YouTuber that went there and filmed it.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. But she apparently wasn't there, right?
No. But
Yeah,
there was a
innocent.
thorough study done on it.
I don't really believe that either. Sorry.
Right. Oh, I agree.
That's what we're doing, Mama T. We're reading this to see what has changed in her story. Okay.
There's a waterfall up there, says Lips. Marlena says, yeah, there's a TP and everything up there. Marlena says, that Don knows about? Marlena says, yep, Don's been down there for years. His mother lived in that house they lived in. He's not really from Utah or wherever. He's from Ohio up there. He's not from down here. Whose
Oh,
TP was up there? I don't know if Flip said that and I didn't mark it or what. I think it did. Yeah.
T, you didn't say anything wrong. You don't have anything to be sorry about. I was just clarifying because you weren't here at the beginning. Is there any way I can get a copy of that? Do you have that on your channel?
I might be on the latest video. I'm not 100% positive it is. I think it is. The
I wonder
last
if
one I
Lip
just,
still has it on her
yeah,
channel.
I'm pretty sure it's on the last one, the 100 page I just released. I'm pretty sure it's in there.
But I think
Um,
Lips
you'll
might have
find,
it on her channel too.
maybe. You'll find it at about this. I'm at the 63 page mark and I'm just about finished.
Innocent, can you drop chaps? Okay, thank you. Innocent's on it. It's always on it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the early 60s of the pages.
Oh, no, that's fine. I didn't even. You're fine. Okay.
Sorry, I lost my place.
The teepee.
TP. Yeah, there's a TP and everything up there. Okay, then Lip says, he's not from down there. Whose TP was up there? Marlena says, it was just a thing that somebody put up and it's a religion and everybody goes up there, everybody rides four-wheelers up there and horses. We've all went up there to party and it's probably about 6 miles from Donnie's. That was the end of the interview.
Huh.
So
That's,
there's definitely some variation in your
yeah.
story. What did who was it that said they caught something too? What did they catch, I guess?
What?
They said they heard some discrepancies in her story from
Oh,
now.
Mama T.
Okay.
She's pointing out
Okay.
that she said different things.
Yeah, she definitely said some different things. That's for
Today
sure.
she said she wasn't around them much. She said Candace paid her to clean her house.
She did.
It didn't look very clean to me.
It didn't.
Candace didn't have any money. Don didn't
It
give
was
Candace any money. She just had the money she made from the garage sales and from buying those skids of overgoods or whatever.
so I would assume that would be in May, right? When she said she was up there and that happened.
I don't know.
It wasn't. I don't.
She didn't do a very good job of cleaning if she did.
Right, but what I'm saying is like it wasn't closer to when Summer disappeared because she had also said that she hadn't been there recently.
Right.
But
She
why
did.
was she there in May? See, here's my question is why was she even there in May? Because like I said before, I think Marlena was hanging out with Candace like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't really think that they hung out in the more recent years, you know?
Yeah, it
I
doesn't sound
don't.
like it, does it? No.
I
And
mean,
she's
even
not.
the pictures that Marlena gave to Ernie, all the boys are young. You can tell that the boys are super young in those pictures. They're like not over 10, the older boys, you know? So, and
Well,
Summer's teeny tiny.
everywhere they go, there's no pictures of Marlena in any of the pictures, right?
No, I haven't really seen a lot with Marlena at all. And I mean,
Absolutely, Monica.
she was obviously really close with them when
At one point.
the youngest boy was born, in my opinion, because she was gonna possibly get him. You know what I'm saying? So
Well,
I think
she was. I don't.
she did. So what I think happened was when Candace went back on that offer to her, I feel like they kind of had a falling out then and then didn't talk for a few years. And then recently, for some reason or another, started talking because Marlena said she was there in May, but it doesn't seem like she was there for like the 2 or 3 years leading up to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what brought her back, I guess, in May is my question. Why did you if you had such a falling out with her, what brought was it because of the girls? Because she also said that Summer and her daughter were like the best of friends. They've
Well,
got to be spending a significant amount of time together if they're the best of friends. But then you
she
say
said
that she was only there that one weekend. Like it doesn't make sense.
She said that. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, she said that she was her only friend. Summer used to be with that little clique girl all the time when she was younger.
Mhm.
On the trampoline. I mean, there's tons of pictures of her, and that little girl was over at her house. Wonder what happened
Right.
there. Wait, she wrote in chat yesterday, Ernie, you haven't paid me yet. Oh yeah, you have to pay her to get her to talk. Absolutely.
Oh, there it is.
Lips
Okay.
paid. Lips paid her bills,
That makes
and she
that makes
went
sense.
to Nana's Angels and wanted her to pay her, but she wouldn't do it.
Really.
Yeah, you have to pay Marlena to get her to talk. And why would you think that Ernie would ever give you any money? That's what I want.
Mhm.
He's playing her. So is
That was your first
Marlena
mistake.
involved in trafficking of children? Well, I don't think that. I don't think that. Marlena's been at the casino? Oh, yeah, she said her daughter was Summer's only friend. I don't know. I don't know. Well, if she's up there on the hill, I guess she'd only meet other kids if Candace took her to meet other kids. Seems like they did a lot of stuff as a family, but yeah, I don't see other kids around, honestly. And we don't
Allie's
see,
kids, really.
yeah, you're right. And she did go to, birthday parties and things with them, and they came to the Wells
Mhm.
house too, also.
Yeah,
So
because she
yeah,
spent a lot of time. She spent a lot of time with that little girl too.
that's not true that her daughter was, yes. No, I think so. You're right. It's not necessarily true. Well, Lip said all she did was lie to her, so. But now Lips puts stuff out like it's the truth. She plays all the angles. Lips, I mean, not Marlene. I mean, Marlena probably too, but.
All of the above.
Her little girl was there just before. She was there Friday, and Summer went missing on Tuesday. I don't know if she was going to get Candace some, but I'll tell you. Yeah, Lips is a psychopath. I agree with 100%.
Marlena said that both of her parents, if they were alive, could verify that she was supposed to get that boy. I mean, I'm just saying what she said. Marlena said. She
Well,
said both of her parents knew about it.
Candace told 3 different women, Candace and Candy.
Mm-hmm.
So told 3 different women that if Summer came back, that they could have her. So
Wow.
do with that what you will. But
Wow.
I know who 2 of those women are. Yeah. Candy told one that, and Candace the other 2.
That's wild. That's sad.
It is sad because when you look at the pictures of Candace and Summer and the things she wrote about Summer, seemed like she
Right.
cared about her at one time.
Right.
I don't know. Candace told Wisconsin Mama that she remembers every single minute of that day that Summer disappeared.
Really?
So why doesn't she tell it? Is what I'm thinking.
No, I agree with that.
I think she probably does remember, honestly. That wouldn't be something you'd forget.
Well, I mean, she's definitely never been able to put it into words. Maybe she should consider, I'm sure she has, writing it all down, you know. She really has a hard time with words, though, because
I don't know.
she's been asked multiple times, and she always gets mixed up and twisted and stumbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Refuses to lock anything in.
God darn it. I keep reading the comments and then I forget what I was going to say. What was I going to say? What did you just say?
We were just talking about Marlena and possibly getting
Oh,
the
and
youngest and her.
no, Candace not not telling. Oh, because I was thinking Ernie's like, oh, they should be arrested for lying to law enforcement. We don't know that they did lie to law enforcement,
No, and
right?
I mean,
They,
I'm sure they would have been arrested at this point if that was the case.
they lied to us, but we have no idea
Right,
what they told law enforcement.
right.
Although
Two
Candy did
totally
tell her
different
friends
things.
she did lie, but yeah, we don't know. Um,
I'm
I
curious what
think
she
people
said
are
she
going to be
lied about.
disappointed that I don't think Candace and Don are going to be arrested for anything, honestly, in my opinion.
Right,
It would have happened by now if there was anything.
right.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. They would have to pay for the child or children. Oh, she said she wouldn't give her children away for free. Um, I don't think Don would have let Summer go, honestly. I mean, he wouldn't let Mary buy Margie, right? Back in Utah.
Right. Everybody kind of
Yeah.
said Summer was his pride and joy.
Oh my God. Every picture of her with Don, you could tell that he loved her to death. I mean,
Hmm.
she's holding on to him for dear life, even as a baby. The pictures of them. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
I
believe that
agree.
she bonded with Don and not
I mean,
Candace. Candace doesn't seem like the huggy feely type to me.
well, Don even said for the first 2 years of her life, she would only come to him,
Yeah, I believe
which
that. I
he
do.
thought was really weird. And, you know,
I do believe that. Okay, what's next?
Grandma Candy's interview, WJHL, March 1st.
Okay, I'm interested to hear this. I was going to listen to it again anyway.
Well, I gotcha.
Okay, let's go.
She says, I got up that morning. She come out and took me to the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement, and she was worried that there was something wrong with it. She took me to the hospital, and I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back and I went to my camper. And after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that. And of course, Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep. I got up and I was sitting in my doorway. And we come out. And Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that. And then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite. And then she went in and said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her. And that's the last time I seen her. Ansley says, tell me when you first realized Summer was missing. What was going through your mind and what was it like here? Candy says, to be blunt, it was hell. I mean, I apologize. I'm blunt. As everyone knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years, and all I could say is, oh my God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry, and we yelled for her, and we yelled for her, and yelled for her, and we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics. We never did find her. She called 911. She called Donnie. We sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of there, over by the edge there, and watched them and was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them. And there was no sign of her. Ansley, do you believe someone took Summer or do you believe she wandered off? What do you believe happened? Candy concludes, I believe someone took her. I know people say it doesn't happen, but it does happen. It happens in small towns, it happens in big towns, it happens in the country. I believe somebody took her.
I think where she messed up was the going in and taking a nap
Yeah.
and then coming
I mean,
out.
that's it. That's the only other detail that she gave that we hadn't really heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, I think that's where she screwed up. She probably did go in and take a nap, but then she had to, but that wasn't part of Candace's story. No, Mama T, she did not get pain meds because we went over that before. She opioids have to be e-script and they had a paper script, so it was just anti-inflammatories.
I mean, reading back over it, to be honest, I'm kind of noticing the only other thing that wasn't like huge public knowledge before. I mean, it was YouTube knowledge, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how public knowledge it was the fact that Rose was gone. Like, we all knew about it, but Kingsport probably didn't know about that. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
And
if in the event it wasn't the nap that made Candace upset, maybe it was the fact that she brought up Rose, because Candace has been upset before when Rose has been brought up.
oh yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do know
That's
what you're saying.
I'm
Yeah.
just kind of thinking that reading over it again and like knowing what I know, because there's things that I know now that I didn't know then. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like going over this, because when you see something and it sticks out like that's never stuck out to me before, but now it kind of does, because now that I think about it, like, I mean, the story's already, I mean, at this point, we're at March 1st. So we're like 9 months. Summer's been gone. The story has already been completely taken away from Summer. There's been so much distraction, so many other side stories, so much other shit going on. You know what I mean? So my question, I guess, is if it wasn't the nap, was it that fact that she brought up Rose, which was another deterrent from Summer, mind you,
I don't
during
know.
that interview? You know what I'm saying? It's just a possibility. Because
You
there was
know,
something in that interview that
there's
like
something.
separated their relationship, right?
Yes.
What could have been so severe that she brought up in that tiny ass interview that could
I know.
separate a mother-daughter relationship? I just feel like it couldn't have been the nap. Like
That did it though.
I know, I get that. I don't know. I'm just
Something in
curious.
there.
Yeah, something
So
pissed Candace off.
this reminded me of Fred Hill saying, I think it was Fred that said it, or maybe Ziggy no, I think it was Fred that they knew that Don had tried to sell Donnie when Summer went missing. They knew it that right away that day. And like,
Hmm.
that's bullshit. Total bullshit. For one
Yeah,
thing, that never
that's
happened. For another,
right.
how would they know there were no charges?
Right.
Mary didn't even
Right.
know Summer existed.
Right.
So
And that all goes back to Fred listening to YouTube for months before he spoke. That's what that is, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's
There's no
total
way.
bullshit.
There's no way that information, like,
No, there's
no,
no
no
way.
way.
There's no way. No.
I mean, like
Mary's the only one
Trish,
that told that. Yeah. And
well, we saw that Trish talked to Tiffany Marie on the 1st of July or something like that, which is still 2 weeks after Summer disappeared. Now, mind you, Jeannie and Mary did say that as soon as they found out Summer was missing, they called the authorities. Now, was it that first night she went missing? Probably not. Probably
no.
not. Probably not. Could it have been within the first 48 to 72 hours? Yeah, it could have. Because when Summer went missing, they posted on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that's how Mary and Jeannie found out. It's not like Don and Candace talked to them. They didn't even know Summer was alive. So
Yeah.
I would
They didn't even know
assume,
it existed.
right. So I would assume that Candace is friends with Mary on Facebook. Candace posted that Summer was missing. Honestly, I assume she made the post that night. I know I've seen one.
I don't
I
think
know that
Candace was friends with Mary, honestly.
I know that Marlena posted Summer missing that night, and I think
Um,
the picture of
Candace's,
go
Candace's
ahead.
sister posted it too.
Okay.
And
But
that's where Rose Meyer saw it, was on Facebook, but in a
but
group.
Mary wouldn't have seen a post from Candace's sister, mind you. You know what I'm saying?
No, but Candace, if she was Facebook friends with Candace, she would know Summer existed because Candace posted endless pictures of Summer, right?
That's true. That's true. But Mary definitely said that she thought they only had 3 boys.
Yeah,
She
that's
didn't
what
even
I'm
know
saying.
Summer was alive.
I don't think she was friends with her on Facebook. I don't think Candace is
I
not the
wonder
type.
how
To, I
Mary
don't
and
know.
Jeannie found out about it then. You know what I mean? Maybe through Don's
Her
dad.
mom. Her mom.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But still, they said the moment they found out, they called the authorities. So, like I said, and again, Fred's timing
But
is neither, here nor there. Like, if it ever even did happen, if it happened the first night, that is super far fetched. Could it have happened the second day? Maybe. Possible. They could have found out by that point.
but I think they called the police about Don and what he did to Jeannie. I don't think they said
Yes.
Don tried to sell his daughter or his son.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. I wouldn't think
Especially
so
when
either.
Mary tried to buy Margie. I don't think.
Right. And again, I think Fred just got that in his head from YouTube and embedded it into his story. You know what I mean?
Chrissy
He got
said
a lot of information.
Mary claims she found out when she went over to her parents' house and Don was on the phone with his dad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she found anything she heard was something from her parents. I'll have to go
Right.
over those Mary interviews with Unmask.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know if I ever actually saw the Mary with Unmasked. Did I?
There's more
Maybe I
than
did.
one. There's like
Is
3.
there?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we should go over those then.
There's 2, and then there's one with Chris McDonough.
With Unmasked?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think I caught all of those.
Yeah, but I think that was much later, Renee Marie, wasn't it? When he said he put her in the septic tank. I think that was quite a while after. Yeah, Mary's. You ever
Well, that
see that?
actually came from Candace, I thought.
I think
Or-
I don't know.
I
I
think
heard.
Candace was the first one.
I don't know. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard Mary say it. But there's a video that I think Hills in the Air posted called "There's Something About Mary." Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Yeah, that's her.
Huh.
That's her inconsistencies. We'll say that.
Okay.
In my opinion, Mary seemed to like Don in the beginning. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and she said Don didn't do anything to her until Jeannie dropped out, and then suddenly Mary took over and said that she was a victim. But until when Jeannie was there, Mary said that Don helped her when his friends went after her. So, yeah, Don, I think Don, in my opinion, this whole entire time has tried to draw attention away from Ben Hill. I mean, he said, yeah, Summer's far, far away. I right at the beginning, Summer's far, far away from here. She's probably in Mexico by now. And just, always trying to draw attention away from Ben Hill.
From day one.
From day one.
Yeah.
So why would that be?
Minute one. Minute one.
Yep.
He didn't even let the searchers finish searching, and he was telling them because he was upset because he kept saying nobody will listen, nobody will believe me. They're just wasting their time here. It's just wasting their time.
Yeah, he didn't want them. No. If my child was missing, yeah. No, Mom T, that was Ziggy. That was Ziggy's daughter. She just got back. That's who he was talking about. I have that on my community wall. Ziggy made a live about that too. Don said, "What if your daughter, your beautiful daughter that you just got back, what did you say? You know it better than I do because I forgot part of it."
Yeah, what did you your beautiful daughter that you just got back and somebody was playing games and fucking with your head?
Yeah, wouldn't you want to beat him up or something? And Ziggy said, yeah. Ziggy, and there's a video too that where Ziggy went live and explained all that Don was talking about her daughter. Because
she did, because it was such a big deal. She wanted to squash it.
She had lost custody of her daughter, and she had just gotten her back right then. So Don was just, asking her to compare the situation. and how would she feel if that happened to her. Okay. Yeah, I do think that's odd, but then Don doesn't seem to have a filter. Seriously, would if Don, he's nothing embarrasses him, and he came right out and said that, the thing with Jeannie actually happened. So I mean, who would say that publicly? Honestly,
Right.
he didn't have any problem admitting to that. So okay.
Do you want to keep going?
Well, it is 12 o'clock. Is this a good place to stop?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's always a good place to stop. It's fine.
Okay. All right. When are you available next? Friday?
Friday's really hard for me. Maybe.
Okay.
I'll have to let you know on that. If not, it's gonna be like Monday again,
Okay.
probably.
Well, whatever. Just let me know.
Okay, I will for sure.
Absolutely, Mom T. I've always thought that right from the beginning. Summer's far, far away. Far, far away from here. Yep. Yep. He did say that. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? He said he wouldn't see her again till the resurrection.
Oh yeah, definitely makes you wonder.
Yeah. Well, that fits into my theory. Okay, so thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all for sticking with us.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Innocent did a yeoman's job on here.
Excellent job, Innocent. Appreciate you, love.
All these links.
Excellent. I love it.
I wake up and she sent me all kinds of screenshots and links every morning, and that's pretty much what I look at because I don't spend a lot of time, especially when I start sewing again. I'm whipping through my projects, so
Nice.
I'm on my third one, almost done here in the last week and a half.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, appreciate the lack of chaos. Yeah, we don't do chaos here. We don't do drama. And yeah, we don't talk about people's looks or sex life here. What about the whole thing they buried her heart in an undisclosed location? I never heard that.
Jesus. No.
What about the cremation thing? I don't think people honestly know what it takes to cremate a body or arrange that for that to happen.
Well, I think people brought it up because of Dotson, you know what I mean? That was, I don't think anybody thought that like they did it out in the woods or something per se. I think it was more that he had the facility available.
Yeah, but he had already been
right.
hired.
He didn't even work. I don't even think he worked there anymore.
No, but I mean, even at a crematory, you don't just fire it up. I mean, there's safeguards that would record all that. You know, you have to heat it up. The huge amount of energy.
I would agree with that.
And all kinds of things. You can't just do it
in
the middle of the night surreptitiously.
I would agree with that. Definitely.
Okay. Thanks everybody once again, and love everybody. Appreciate all you, and we'll see you the next time.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Chapstick.
Thanks,
yes, especially to Chapstick for all her hard work.
Enjoy your late night craziness. It's wild. Check out that interview. It's wild.
No, David Dodson did not own the crematorium. He worked for, and there is a Dodson funeral home, but David didn't work for them either.
No.
And he had gotten fired 6 months, I believe, before summer. This daughter posted about it. I have all that there. No, he didn't own it at all. Just another rumor. Okay, so we'll talk to you later. Till next time.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.